start streaming?
Yeah. Are you sure you want to start streaming?
This is Time Traveler Jesse. Going back as you're about to do your first stream.
Are you sure you want to start streaming? Yeah, my streaming software is like slightly judgmental about the quality of what I'm about to do.
Isn't there any other path you can take in life right now?
It's like, are you sure?
Are you sure?
Are you sure? All right, you ready? Here we go. 3, 4. Doug Space Nine. 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 I'm going the whole song this time. Doug Space Nine.
I like how you say you're going the whole song.
This is Doug Space Nine. Doug Space Nine. Hello. We're here. What's up? Sorry we're late. It's my fault. It was definitely my fault this time. Hey, Rockin' RC, what's up, Max Luzinski, and Amanda, of course. Amanda, let's see what Amanda was hanging in chat before we got here. What was happening? What did I miss?
Gambling with the devil.
Oh yeah, gambling. We got some space flights. Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know, we have an in-chat currency called power crystals, which is, it's like a combination of dilithium crystals and kyber crystals.
And we know that they should be called latinum.
Yeah, they can power both warp speed engines and a lightsaber. Basically, that's not a good explanation of what's happening, but that is what's happening. Dabo, yes, I love that we added that last week or 2 weeks ago, or whatever, 3 weeks ago.
Well, I'm outside smoking. I always try to make up chat commands.
Yes. Oh yeah, and you did command Dabo, and I liked it so much that we added it. All right, what are we doing? Welcome.
Welcome. Hi there. Welcome to Doug Space Nine.
Doug Space. This is like our.
I'm Doug. This is Space Nine.
I'm Space Nine. Is this our 6th or 5th?
7th.
7th. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think so.
That's awesome. Yeah, so we got started a little late today. I had to reboot my computer because like 2 minutes before we're about to start streaming, it's like, yeah, the new Windows update is here. Would you like us to restart? And I've learned from experience that if you don't do that, the stream crashes like every time.
Yeah, and it gets really aggressive about rebooting it.
Yeah, totally. Like something about streaming software and Windows needing to reboot is a bad combination. So I just rebooted to be safe. And here we are.
We're here.
We're here. Good to see you guys. So we're talking about 2 episodes, as always. We're talking about Battle Lines and The Storyteller.
Yeah, and you seem to think these are 2 dogs.
Well, The Storyteller I have some fond feelings towards, even though I still think it's a terrible episode. But Battle Lines to me is just like a massive dud.
Yeah.
Like, Battle Lines is the only episode so far all season that I just did not like.
I have such mixed feelings about both of these episodes. I don't know. Well, okay, let's start with that. Why do you think it's such a dud?
Well, okay.
Do you want to summarize?
We're getting into it, I guess. Okay, yeah. Like that's basically a 35-minute question you just asked me.
Okay,
so yeah, this is the episode where you have 2 warring factions on this planet: the Ennis and the Null Ennis. Is that what they're called?
Yep.
And then Kai Opaka's having these visions of needing to go through the wormhole, or like there's prophecies regarding her, so she begs Benjamin Sisko to take her across to go through the wormhole, and they end up finding these 2 warring factions, the Ennis and the Null Ennis. One of them, you know, the leader of one of which is played by Jonathan Banks, who I love from everything he's ever been in except for this, because it's a terrible script. And basically, it's your classic Star Trek scenario of like these 2 warring factions have been fighting for so long that they don't remember why they're fighting. The big twist on this one being that no one on this planet can die because of these, you know, micro robots that are living. Thank you, micro robot nanites. Nanites is the word for that. I know micro robots is something that I was saying because I couldn't remember the word nanites, but I appreciate you being there. Yeah, so these nanites are keeping everyone alive who are a part of this, and it's just like this classic, you know, war is stupid story.
Right.
That's the summary.
Let's take something and let's exaggerate it to a huge degree to try to examine it. It's like a, you know, like satire parody where you either zoom in close or you blow something up real big.
Right.
This to me is sort of like zooming in real close, like boiling a war down and saying like, look, this is a pointless thing, so then we can talk about the pointlessness of war and death and fighting.
You know, as I get older, I get more frustrated by this plot line because it happens so many times in Star Trek. Like, let's just see how many we can think of off the top of our heads.
Sure.
You have this war. Donovan, holy crap, dude! Donovan with the $9.99 super chat.
Wow.
Oh my god, dude, thank you so much. Wow, I really appreciate that. My school just got off break, so I gotta watch it. Oh my god, thank you so much, Donovan.
You make it sound like homework. My school just got off break, so I gotta watch you.
Yay, now we get a little dance party and see. Doug never gets to see this. Look, Doug, look at this. Look at this. It's a Nyan Cat Deep Space Nine. It's my favorite GIF on the internet. Dude, Donovan, thank you so much. That is so kind of you.
I like that his last
Wanted
name
to
is
wish
Prophet.
you a great winter. My school just got off break. Oh man, I really appreciate that. You are awesome. Thank you. Okay, so
Do you think he lives in the wormhole?
yeah, I never thought about it, but Donovan Prophet, probably a wormhole alien. Yeah, definitely.
You ask him how the show turns out.
Are you one of the prophets? Donovan, the singer, is actually one of the prophets from the Bajoran faith.
It's a hurdy-gurdy man.
Oh yeah,
That's
man.
a terrible
Sometimes the
problem.
commands take a while to kick in for some reason. Oh yeah, and Amanda said we're not even going to talk about Discovery first. Okay.
This is why the Ennis and the Nullinus are fighting. They're arguing over is Discovery Season 1 the best Star Trek season?
Totally. This is how the beginning of that conflict that they don't remember is this conversation, and it's Doug and I not being able to agree on Star Trek Discovery being shit. So I'm the Ennis, you're the Null Ennis, obviously.
No, I'm the Ennis. I'm the Ennis.
No, I'm the Ennis, and you're the Null Ennis.
I'm the Ennis.
No. And then like 1,000 years of war.
We're just arguing over the name.
What's up, Dingo Prime? Welcome. So in the original series, you have that classic episode where there's the guys that have like one half of their face is white and one half of their face is black, and the other half's like, no, we hate them because they're switched over, and like that's the big turn of the episode.
Right.
And it was kind of, you know, it was really interesting for the time. It was kind of like a groundbreaking idea to like point out that maybe wars can be pointless.
Right.
And that episode has a lot of value, even though it is like completely ridiculous when you watch it in a modern setting. It's just like the acting is so over the top. It's the guy that plays the Riddler in the original Batman series, isn't it? Frank Gorshin?
Frank Gorshin.
Is that his name?
All I could think of was Neil Gorsuch,
right?
and I'm like, wait, no, he's the Supreme
Court Justice. He would do a great job as the Riddler.
You know, Trump would appoint the Riddler to the Supreme Court. That's not surprising at all.
Anyway, so yeah, that episode is the first I can think of, and then you have the one with Riva in Star Trek: The Next Generation, where he's mediating this dispute between these two factions that have been fighting so long they don't remember why anymore.
Right.
First season of Star Trek: The Next Generation, you have the one where that guy gets older and older. No, wait, he starts older. He Benjamin Buttons. He gets younger and younger. And then he is responsible for giving arms to one side in this war that's been going on for so long that they don't even remember why.
You know what I love about that episode is that is like a direct, to me, I know it's not in the script, but it feels like a direct response to an original series episode where Kirk basically hands out guns to people and is like, well, you know, everyone's got guns now, so good fucking luck.
Whoa, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Whoa, which episode is that?
I don't remember which particular one, but I saw that and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, totally. That's fucked up. You do like this episode for removing this Kai from the storyline to make room for the political stories for Bajor.
Yeah, that's fair.
Great point. So I forgot to mention that in the... that's a pretty big deal in this episode, is that Kai Opaka dies on this planet. Short Kai. Best Kai.
Best Kai.
Best Kai.
Sweet Kai.
Kai Opaka, total best Kai. My favorite Kai.
They're both grandmothers, but one grandmother's the one you're like, I don't want to go to her house. She's got stuff.
I never thought of Kai Opaka as a grandmother at all. I thought of her as like
older women,
like a badass congresswoman. You know, like Kai Opaka is like a young Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She's
okay.
No, that was wrong. She's just awesome. I really like Kai Opaka. She's like
she looks like someone who
so
wants
great.
to bake me Bajoran apple pie.
She reminds me so much of Kathy Najimy.
Oh yeah.
But like a much calmer Kathy Najimy. Like if Hocus Pocus was a way more laid back movie. But okay, Kai Opaka is a fantastic character. You meet her in an Emissary, the pilot, and she's the one who like feels Sisko's ear, and she's like, I can feel your paw, and she just kind of oozes out spirituality. You're feeling Chat's paw. Oh. Can you feel Chat's paw?
Chat's paw. Oh, you have a good paw.
There's something about her I like so much, and she kind of grounds the Bajoran faith for me, and she makes the whole idea of like being religious on Bajor makes sense.
On the rewatch, I was surprised that she dies in her second appearance in the series.
I know, right?
Because of, I think, what you're saying of how important she always felt in my memory to the show and to everything that comes after.
Totally.
I thought that she was a huge part of season 1. I was like,
no,
what? She dies right away? Wow.
She leaves an indelible impression like so quickly. And I love this character. And that's a big part of why, is because she's barely around.
Yeah.
I mean, we will see the actress again, and I won't say how, because that's if you're, in case you're watching for the first time.
She says, I'll see you again.
Yeah, but it's not even her.
I know, but I'm just saying, like...
I spoiled it. I'm going to spoil it. Fuck it. Okay, spoilers. So,
Is it related to the time hole worm
You
aliens?
see her again in Sisko's visions when he's in the wormhole and he's talking to the prophets. She, like, represents, I think, his spiritual aspect. Yeah. When he's, like, a wormhole alien person. Right. So, we do see the actress again, but... her character dies and then is brought back to life by these nanites,
right?
And then decides of her own free will that she'd rather stay instead of trying to figure out how to get these nanites out so she can leave the planet. Right. It's like one of the big turning points of this episode is when you discover that no one can leave this planet because these nanites are environment specific. So if anyone who's been killed on this planet and those nanites like flood your system when you die and then reanimate you basically, and then you have a zombie war for all of time. Right. If that happens to you, you can never leave this planet again. So that happens to Kaiopaka, but she had already decided to stay because she had some prophecies or visions or whatever.
That was one of the things that bugged me about this. Is that
me too.
They don't give you... She mentions the prophecy, and when you rewatch it, you can see like, oh, right, she's steering all of this to get her somewhere. She doesn't know where, but she knows she has some prophecy to fulfill.
Right.
And that's why she wants to have Benjamin take her through the wormhole. That's why she wants to do these things. That's why she eventually stays. And she frequently mentions how, prophecy works in mysterious ways. But they don't ever tell you what her prophecy was, which I feel like is kind of a cop-out. I think I know what they were going for of the show don't tell kind of thing. But I also feel like they were like, I don't know what the fuck kind of fake prophecy we're going to make that tells her she has to do this. That doesn't sound silly.
The idea of prophecy always is really hard for me to deal with in stories. Like when you add in a prophecy, then you are adding in this like element of expectation that feels manufactured. Mm-hmm. This show does a brilliant job of using prophecy. Like I love what Deep Space Nine does with prophecy.
Later,
I think prophecy used well can be like so compelling.
Right.
But it is just used so much and it's just so played out. But there are some examples of it that are truly really well done.
They do better with prophecy.
Actually, you know what? The best example, I think, of prophecy, probably Babylon 5.
Oh,
That's one of the best examples of prophecy I've seen.
Because it's planned out. That's where the... We always talk about
these are so similar, the idea of prophecy in these.
Yeah.
They are kind of similar. That's interesting. But anyway, like in this episode, it's just kind of thrown out there like, oh, these prophecies told me that I'm going to be doing whatever. Right. But then she steers the situation, like Doug said, like she totally steers the situation. She creates a situation where she ends up getting stuck on this planet and then decides to stay.
Right.
But like who knows if she read that prophecy right? She could have, I mean, she made that situation happen. It wasn't like an external situation happened accidentally.
Right.
Like she pushed to go through the wormhole and then she pushes to stay.
Right.
She has this feeling that like this meaningless conflict is now where she's supposed to be.
Right.
To try to mediate this conflict, and that seems to her like this like calling or passion or whatever, but she claims that it's the prophecy who drove her to do this, and I really take issue with that because like she made those choices. Mm-hmm. I don't like when strong characters give up their choice in a story. I like when someone fulfills a prophecy because they realize it's what they have to do in that scenario. Right. And I feel like they said that that's what was happening here, but it just didn't feel like it made sense.
Yeah, it's it's a part of my mixed feelings of this is that it's a weak spot. There's an opportunity to do something that they don't do anything with. Just like the war analogy, not only is that something that's been done and they're not really adding anything to it, there was also an opportunity to do something about the nature of punishment in criminal justice. But they don't. That's just completely ignored in this one.
Right.
You know,
they brought up so many things that would be interesting if they were developed.
Yes.
And then they just
let it go,
pooped them out, and then it was over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't buy Kaiopaka, who, hold on a second, is like...
John Banks!
I know, John Banks. He's great. Kaiopaka is basically like the Pope of the Bajoran religion, and she literally just decides to leave. She's like, okay, well, now I'm stuck here on this planet. These people need my help. I'm never going back.
Right.
And she is the center
It's because-
of the Bajoran faith on her planet.
Well, see, this is why...
Right after the occupation, at like a critical time where she is needed.
Right.
And like, her leaving makes way for Kai Wynn, who is a shitbag.
You should have seen all the paperwork on her desk. That's what she's like, you know what? No, I'm going to go crash on a planet.
Yeah, Kai Wynn is an evil, opportunistic person who... I mean, I do have... such an incredibly well-written character and so well performed, but like such a bad like person that is kind of like...
I like that though.
I like it too. Like unlayered over time.
Right. When you don't like a character that's well acted and well written, that's
It's
a
fun.
good sign. Yeah,
Yes,
that
I
means
agree.
that it's working.
Yeah. Yeah, again, like spoilers for a character who's not even shown up yet, but I was just thinking about that this time, knowing that Kai Wynn is going to take over, and knowing that, like, the political situation that allowed Kai Wynn to take over what existed before Kaiopaka left.
Yeah,
and she would have been aware of it.
I hadn't thought about that at all, that Kai Opaka is choosing to follow this prophecy in the midst of all of the upheaval on her planet.
It'd be like Ruth Bader Ginsburg retiring, you know, and she's...
While Donald Trump is president.
While Donald Trump is president, and she's a fucking hero, and she's doing everything she can to not retire, because she knows that she's, like, that she can't.
So this is why, if they had just given some weight to the prophecy that she's following, if they had just explained it, if there had been some... You could have done it with a flashback where she gets a prophecy from her wormhole alien prophets while she's a child.
Yes.
Something
oh my god, that's perfect.
You know what I mean? You could do... This is the kind of thing you can solve in
that's
just like
already so much better.
A couple of minutes, right?
A couple of minutes, and that's an easy, cheap scene to shoot, because it's in a white fucking room.
Right, and you just get some kid to do it,
Yeah.
and it's... Who would be this tall?
Yeah.
Because what was Kai Opaka when she was a child? She's such a tiny lady. She's adorable. But
are you short shaming Kaiopaka?
No, I think she's cute.
I love Kaiopaka. I think that actress is like really pretty.
Yes. Oh, but that would have fixed things. This would have changed the questions I had about the motivation. It wouldn't have fixed the core of the story, but the Kai Opaka is kind of the driving force behind the story. And if you're skipping episodes, some people do they engage in false trek where you skip episodes, which you're not supposed to do. But if you're gonna skip, this one you can't skip because it is, you know what I mean? Like,
it's horrible.
Kai Opaka is in Emissary, and then Kai Wynn comes later, and you would be watching it going, what happened? So you have to at least watch the first 10 minutes.
It is crucial for the story.
Yeah.
But man, is it like it's just a slog. I think my biggest problem with it is that it's boring.
Right.
Like you have this conflict introduced that doesn't matter and goes nowhere.
But which is the point of the conflict.
Right.
It is the point that it is pointless.
Sure.
But
the episode doesn't need to be pointless. You know?
You have to be careful when you're doing something that's so nihilistic, you know? You have to give some other reason for it. And yeah.
But Kai Wynn isn't the only Kai after this. Oh, was there someone in between? I don't remember.
I mean,
the Battle of the Kai. Yeah, was someone else? I don't remember, actually. Well, don't tell me, because I'll be surprised when we watch it again. Yeah, I know, like, Vedic Bareilles about to show up.
Right.
Which reminds me, so
that's right, because she's Vedic Wynn.
Vedic Wynn, that's right. Yeah, that's right, she's Vedic Wynn. Is it Vedic Bareilles who becomes Kai first? I don't remember exactly what happens.
Oh, well, we're on a fun Kai journey.
I've been really sick the last few weeks. I'm playing a lot of Stardew Valley, and I just got a new coop full of rabbits, and I named them all after characters that have been in the first half of the first season of Deep Space Nine. So there's like Tai Kajada and Croden and May Hardu, Ibudan, and Ibudan's clone. I just had to share that with you. So I'm really proud of it. And every time I go and pet my rabbits, it's like Ibudan's clone. And then I have two void chickens that are named Gul Dukat and Kai Wynn because they belong together.
Oh, perfect. Spoilers.
Anyway, so
I'm half chatting with Amanda as well.
So yeah, for me, like the execution of the battle is so lame, and it's just like not interesting and not fun to watch. Like the battle scenes are boring. And
she's right. John Banks is the thing that is the only redeeming thing, or the main redeeming thing of the battle stuff of the
He's the only thing that's interesting in a boring part of the show, and he is still pretty boring. Like he's a great actor. I love him. I think this is a bad script. I think that they like did not develop what they were doing very well.
Yeah.
And
because a really aggressively nihilistic episode with him
Right.
also doing that kind of like, it just doesn't matter. You know,
Right.
that all could be good, but yeah, the episode itself feels like, oh, you're right, it doesn't matter.
I think for me also the premise is too far-fetched. Like, you have people getting stabbed and shot, but everyone has all their limbs. And they just
but
it'd be a death becomes her situation where they'd have like holes all over them by the end.
Yeah, that's the other thing is they clearly didn't think out the logic of this because I think they show them with like, oh, you're supposed to. I was picturing like he's missing his hair because his head's been singed off so many times,
and he's just a human underneath that.
Yeah, and then
we're in the fucking we're in a different quadrant of the galaxy, and it's just more people that just look human.
Well, you know, those progenitors, they've really got around.
They got around, yeah.
But then he specifically mentions that they don't use energy weapons, which they then show them using later, but whatever.
Oh, really?
Or someone's using them. They fire shit at each other. But
energy weapons make more sense.
Well, then he's saying that the Nolans don't use them because they're not damaging enough. So they are implying that they're ripping each other apart violently with these things. It's been hundreds of years. It's not like someone hasn't lost a limb.
Yeah, I mean, there'd be like pieces of people on the floor talking to you. Like, it just doesn't quite work.
So to accept the premise of the episode, you have to believe that, like, oh, if you burnt a body, because they can't have fire, so that also they're going to get reconstructed. Because otherwise, everyone would just throw the enemies into the fire pits.
And already that's a better episode if the nanites, like, recreate your body so that if you get blown up, you, like, Odo yourself back together. You go, like, and, like, come back together as nanites. So, and that's I think that's already a better episode. Also, like with the Kaiwen flashbacks, this episode's already way better. We can totally fix this episode.
Fixing the space
and I think that's why it's so frustrating because he's kind of easily fixable, and I think that like ways to make this episode better are pretty apparent.
Yeah.
Which means that it's probably not very good. You know?
Yeah, and on top of it, the B story, which is directly tied to the A story, is Dax and O'Brien looking for everyone.
Right.
And that is it's the worst kind of Star Trek problem solving, where it's just like, hey, how about this thing? Well, I don't know. Well, why don't we try this other made up thing? That didn't quite work. We're running out of time. Make up something else. And then he literally is like, oh, I just invented something that doesn't exist. That will solve the problem.
He's like, it's a needle in a haystack. I need to make a trans-dimensional magnetomer or whatever it is.
I'll find out when I finish building
I'll let you know when I finish building it. I will say that B plot for me was like infinitely more interesting than the A plot.
And it's a terrible B plot. That's what's bad about this episode.
I like that. Yeah, it's not great, but I really liked it. I was like, this is just classic.
You liked it because you were getting tortured by the A plot.
Exactly. Yeah, it was like classic, like comforting Star Trek. And then you don't often see them, you know, just spending a lot of time in an L-Cars situation. Yeah. You know, like with the classic Federation ship design, like when they're on the runabouts, because you're on the Cardassian space station so much. So it's just comforting to feel like you're back on the Enterprise, you know, because you're on a runabout that looks like the Enterprise technology or classic Federation technology.
That's interesting.
So I really enjoyed those scenes, and I love both of those characters. I'm happy to see them do anything, even if it's pointless. And this show always does this with the technobabble, where it's just like, we'll make this thing up. Yeah, we'll make that thing up.
Right.
And I kind of tuned some of that out. I'll be a little honest. Like, I know how they're getting from point A to point B with it, and I know that if I try to unravel it with my mind, it will break. So I just kind of tune out of that stuff a little bit. I'm like, random nonsense, so they're going to make a magnet to find them. Great. I don't mind.
In Star Trek, it is very helpful if when they start throwing mushrooms at you, you're just like, that's mushroom stuff. That's just
hold on to it loosely with your mind.
Yeah. So, but if you had the ability to travel through space instantly through a mushroom network, you just accept it. You're just like, whatever, that's fine. That's just, it needs to be there for the story.
Even though I do, like, sometimes tune some of that stuff out, if it snags on my brain, it doubly bothers me.
For me, it's whenever they actually talk about computer-related things with, like, files and things like that, because it is so... It was bad for the time they were writing it, 90s, computer terminology. It's super bad now. It just is so, like...
It just doesn't
What if we store it all in the one file? Or what was the other one where they were like, but nobody would think if they accessed all the files at once.
Right, yeah.
Just whatever nonsense they're saying.
Yeah, when they, like, shut down the system by accessing every file.
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, like that stuff is fun for me. But the whole hey, what's up, Diego? Welcome.
Hello.
The whole idea of like the Ennis and the Null Ennis fighting and not being blown apart and like still looking relatively put together.
Yeah.
That made too little sense. So when we got into the technobabble of that, my brain just couldn't get over it.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about the mycelial network and the spore drive. Like it snags my brain. So to me,
this episode doesn't do enough to warrant the hand waving where I'm like, I'm just watching you wave your hand now. I'm not like, oh,
Yeah.
you're right. I'll look away. I happen to think that in Discovery, they wave their hands and I'm like, ooh, pretty. Yep. Wave. Look at the trails. Keep waving them hands.
He likes your cat shirt.
Oh, yeah.
It's a cat made out of pizza.
Ba, 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 ba.
And then I've got, this is my oldest t-shirt, Star Trek The Next Generation.
Oh, I didn't
It's
realize
got like
it.
holes in it.
I'm also wearing pizza
Oh my god,
socks.
pizza socks. Very cool.
And
I'm
then-
wearing mom's socks, but I'm not that flexible.
And space.
Oh, nice.
So I'm space pizza and space pizza.
Very cool. My mom knits, and all of my socks at this point are mom made. Happy birthday, Mom! It's my mom's birthday.
Happy birthday, Jess's mom.
Yeah, so, and then I just really hate how they leave the Kai here. Like, we were kind of talking about prophecy and all that.
Yeah.
It feels really dismissive of her people and her faith to, like, leave everyone that she knows and loves behind it. It kind of bothers me.
Yeah, that I'm fine with it. It bothers me that they didn't try to explain it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because again, this is something that I could have explained with with the prophecy. Whatever. Again, the hypothetical child prophecy here could have alleviated all of your concerns you have with that too.
Yeah.
Even the idea of like,
Absolutely.
You know, someday you're gonna have to give all of this up for this other thing. You know what I mean? It's like the bones of it are there. You just have to kind of, write something that sounds compelling for her.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
then you could have it where she's actually a little bit more torn with what she's doing.
She has no agency over her decision to change everything about her life.
So
and it
no,
bothers
because
me.
here's the thing: is I believe that this is not Kai Opaka just sort of randomly milling about. She is making these choices. She is following a prophecy, but she is actively engaged in her life to facilitate what she views the conclusion of the prophecy will be, which includes going to Deep Space Nine, asking for a tour, asking to see the wormhole, getting into the ship, having the evil satellites talk to the, oh, we're waiting for a response. And they're like, well, just log it and deal with it later. She's like, aren't you going to go check it out now? Like, she's nudging them and her own fate to this point. I don't think well, we don't know. Maybe she does know that this is where she's going to die.
Hey, Patrick,
because
what's up, man?
because of the prophecy that they don't tell us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we don't know. But I do think that she is showing agency, and there's a whole other interesting thing here about the prophecy of like, yeah, you could just sit on yourself with your arms crossed to deny the prophecy, but she's believes in it, and so she's also kind of like helping it along. You know what I mean? She's not being a complete stick in the river.
I think without knowing the context of the prophecy and the
This is
history
the
of all of
problem,
it, because it's
right.
not in the episode, it leaves me to believe that it makes me feel like, as a viewer, that like she's not choosing this because it's what
Right.
she wants. She's choosing it because she feels like it's what her faith is telling her to do.
I think you have to headcanon a prophecy that makes that make sense. And I think it's there. I think it's there in the episode. I think you, and we do it all the time with other flaws in Star Trek,
Yeah.
So I think you can get, I think it's easy, the path out of the woods for this one is easy as a viewer. But
I
it's
guess so.
frustrating.
I hear you.
You know?
When I watch it doesn't feel that way.
No, it's because they dropped the ball. That's what makes it a bad episode, is that like, oh, I have to fix it in my head.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, what you're saying are like good fixes. And I guess like the nature of prophecy and storytelling works for me so well when you understand the what's behind it. But like when you don't, it just feels like somebody letting go of their free will.
Yes.
And I feel like my problem with some people who are religious, and not my problem with everyone who's religious at all, like sometimes people who are religious let go of their free will, and they just allow their religion to tell them what to do and what to think. Or they're the leaders of the religion or whatever. Like, here's a good example. I want to be specific because I don't want to offend people. I when I was in middle school, I was friends with this girl, and I and we got into a religious discussion, and she started telling me all these things she does and doesn't believe. And I'm Jewish, so all of those discussions always revolved around the fact that I was going to hell for being Jewish, and that like these people were trying to save me from going to hell. I'm like, I don't even believe in hell, you know? So like this is really offensive to me. Like you're basically telling me that me and everyone that I know, that I love, and my whole family are all doomed to hell because of something that's not related to us at all, you know? And it's just very, very frustrating and very offensive. Sure. So I started asking her questions about what she believed, and every answer was, the Bible says this, or the Bible says that, or my pastor says this. Every answer. And then I finally asked her, well, do you believe in aliens? Because like, that's a very important question to me as a sci-fi nerd and as a middle school kid. Like, if you believe in aliens, then you're probably cool, you know? Like, and I'm trying to find
I'm laughing because I'm now picturing this really intense conversation between 5th graders, and then Jesse, like, do you believe in aliens? And then it said, like, this is a very important question.
This is the last question I'm asking you.
She's talking about, like, her religion.
Yeah. But that's God. Like my religion, you know? Like, that's what Star Trek sci-fi nerd, you know?
That's
like,
why it made me laugh. I just pictured the little kids having
totally. I know this whole story is ridiculous.
No, but I love it.
So I asked her, like, do you believe in aliens? And her response to me was, I don't know. I have to go check.
Right. Because
I have to go ask my pastor and check the Bible.
Right. Is it in the Bible or not?
Right.
Yeah.
So that mindset really bothers me. And I actually, I studied, I was a religious studies minor in college, and it really helped me kind of put a lot of this into, like, terms. But we talked a lot, like Religion 101, we talked a lot about different types of religious people, and one of them is people of blind faith.
Blind faith, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's the people who are people who've questioned their faith and struggled with their faith and come to something that is individual to them, that works for them.
Right.
And that I very deeply respect. Like, it's not that I don't respect religion at all, it's that, you know, if you're going to be religious, you know, don't be of blind faith. Like, question yourself, question your reality, not just about religion, but about everything. Like, you know, if everyone around you is pressuring you to be straight, you got to ask yourself, am I straight? You got to find out, because if you're gay, you gotta get with some dudes, otherwise you'll never be happy, you know? Like, you have to know yourself, and you can't let, like I've hooked up with guys. I've talked about this before on stream, and it doesn't, like, come up that much because I have a girlfriend that I live with, but, you know, I've questioned that about my sexuality, and, like, I feel like it's made me so much happier to question things and come to an answer than to just believe things about myself, because that's what other people tell me to. And it's something that I'm very passionate about, obviously, that I don't feel comfortable with blind faith. I feel like if you follow something blindly, you are giving away your free will, and you're allowing your voice to be added into a chorus that is probably not in your best interest. Right.
So in this case, you took Kai Opaka to be a woman of blind faith.
Well, I think that she's presented by the show as being someone of a deep, true, like, question faith, that she has come to, like, to be a very, very solid person, and who's not a person of blind faith.
Right.
But then in this episode, she acts like it. Like, the whole idea of...
See, and I think you can... I think there's a reading of the episode of her not being blind faith.
I agree with you, and I didn't think of it that way, and you've convinced me that that's an easy way to read it. But I can see it in the show. But
for you, that's not a thing that, like, occurs to me as, like, that's frustrating one way or the other, you know? I am more of someone who is just like, oh, if you believe in anything, then I'm like, where can I poke at you to make fun of you for this? Including myself. You know, my own beliefs are ridiculous. I wear, you know, magic socks that are paired specifically, so that's nonsense.
Yeah. And, like, for years on Facebook, when I was using it, my religion was the Force. So I obviously don't... I've questioned a lot, and I don't take much seriously either. But, like, the things I do take seriously, I take very seriously, such as, like, don't give up your free will. Like, don't give up your voice. Like, your free will and your individuality is the most valuable thing that you have, and I think that people should spend time learning what that is for themselves, and, like, discovering themselves, and, like, trying to be the best version of themselves that they can.
Yeah.
And living in a society where you have the freedom to do that is also, like, hugely important to me.
Yeah, so this one triggered thoughts and reactions in you that didn't occur to me. That weren't like
that's interesting.
That didn't seem as part of it. But I totally get it. I can see how you can get to that point.
Yeah, so I guess that's my biggest problem with it. Rock and RC says religion is easy to predict in a movie/show. Yeah, and that's frustrating too. Like, I read a book. I think it was called... I might not be remembering this right. I think it was called The Testament by John Grisham. I think it's the only John Grisham book I ever read. And I don't remember much about it. There was, like, someone who went to the jungle to visit with someone who was a missionary. And I was like already kind of on the fence about it, but then the missionary ended up being someone of like a really interesting faith, and it was like kind of fascinating to read. I'm like, this is kind of cool. Okay. And I wish that there was more of that, where like religion is not so easy to predict.
Deep Space Nine in general does more exploration of religion and faith and prophecy and all these free will later on. This episode
much more interesting ways.
Right, this episode has none of it. This episode doesn't explore anything in an interesting way.
Right.
And I think any discussions or any deep discussion or any thoughts we have on it are, again, it's all us fixing it in our head or finding more in the script than is there.
Yeah, there is so much interesting exploration of religion in this show, because basically the central premise is that like God lives right outside. You know, like there is a God door like right outside. You can look up into the sky and see God's door. Like God lives there, and you can see where he lives. You know, he or she or they.
Does seem like there's multiples of them.
Yeah, like the prophets are the gods of the Bajoran faith, and they've been prophesized, talked about, believed in, but never seen until the start of Deep Space Nine when the wormhole opens.
And then their orbs, they have like physical manifestations in the world.
Right.
Those have been out there. You know, the Bajorans had those.
They had proof of God for a long time, but now they have like direct access to it through the emissary, who is prophesized to be someone, and may or may not be Benjamin Sisko. Like, because Kai Opaka calls him emissary in the first episode.
Right.
So it has so much interesting stuff going on there, because I think that putting religion into Star Trek, doing it a little more scientifically is the way to do it.
Well, they have
like,
to,
there
because
is evidence.
So much of Star Trek, like if you watch the original series and even like within the first 2 seasons of TNG, things like this, the way that they would treat religion was always like, really?
Right, it was pretty.
It looked like someone had.
Flippant.
Whenever religion came up, it looked as though someone had dropped a giant stinking turd on the bridge, and everyone in Starfleet, to a person, just kind of reacted. Or it was very much like, well, some people are still stuck with this old stuff, which is like super disrespectful, you know, across the board. And I do think that I get it. I totally get it. I'm very a-religious as a person, but also I can respect that other people have their beliefs. It's what you do with them that is the issue.
Yeah.
But TNG and all that, they didn't ever find that nuance. It was always just like, these people believe in crazy sky wizards in a universe where fucking crazy sky wizards hassle the ship on a regular basis. You know what I mean?
That's like everybody. Less crazy sky wizards.
The universe is clearly and objectively filled with energy beings that can have massive powers and manipulate reality. Yet they want to shit all over anyone who believes in unseen beings that can manipulate reality.
Right.
So it's a very weird dichotomy in Star Trek.
Totally.
But Deep Space Nine, I think, starts to address that by doing a deep space dive into the Bajorans and this sort of like crossroads of religion and science. With like you're saying, the gods being objectively real, even though other people see them as a different thing, you know?
Yeah, and then we come to find out that in the first episode that these objectively real creatures exist outside of normal time and claim to be of Bajor.
Right.
You know, so
what's the point of making a distinction between science and religion at that point?
Immediately when you say that there's a prophecy, you have to take into account that it might be real because you have prophets.
Right.
They're actually called prophets who are real, who exist out of time and are of Bajor. So maybe they have information from the future of Bajor, and maybe that information found its way to the past.
Yeah.
That's not a large leap based off of like what we know.
Yeah. And they don't. And again, this episode. Whoops. I dropped a thing that I don't need to be playing with.
So yeah, when you bring up prophecy and you have a main, like not a main character, but an important character make huge decisions based off of prophecy, we got to know what the prophecy is. We got to know how it ties in.
This episode, they should have tried this episode in like season 3, maybe 3 or 4. This is something that could have been done better later on when they had really found their footing in terms of prophecy and the wormhole aliens and religion and exploring that kind of thing. They needed to kill Kai Opaka, and this was just a terrible... There were so many other ways in general they could... That's the only thing this episode accomplishes is the death of Kai Opaka.
Kill her in a Cardassian terrorist bombing or something. Like,
or
no, kill her from a terrorist bombing from a a radical Bajoran who doesn't like the way she's running things.
Right, absolutely.
And so many other ways you could kill this character and like drive the story even more.
Yep.
It's frustrating.
Yeah. But this episode is frustrating.
Here's what... I actually have a theory about what the prophecy was.
Amanda likes the episode.
You like the episode because we go off the station. Yeah, we go to that set, that rock set where they shoot like everything.
I'm missing... Who's... hello, Patrick's up?
Amanda says, made season 2 of DS9 is much improved. Yes. I mean, this show just gets better and better until you go inside of Bashir's mind. And then it gets worse and worse. Like, when you physically walk through his mind, which happens... No, he walks in someone else's mind, and you walk in his mind. They're both weird.
Is Patrick... Do you know Patrick? He just seems very nice. He's wishing us good things.
Patrick's very nice, yeah.
I don't know. I'm not used to the individual... Amanda's the only person in chat that I know, so...
Oh, yeah? Well, I mean...
I'm always worried if I say something like, oh, this person said something, you'd be like...
All of these people are good people to know.
Okay. Hi, everybody.
Okay, so
Are we paying enough attention to you?
So when she decides to stay, she tells Cisco and Kira to tell the Bajoran people, tell them that, like, I found where I'm supposed to be.
Right.
You know? Or, like, so the prophecy must
You'll
be...
have to leave where you think you need to be to find where you belong.
Yes.
Boom, I've written her prophecy.
No, that's exactly right. I think that is the prophecy. I think that it says something along the lines of, like, the Kai, in this time period, left her people to do what she needed to do, or to be where she belonged.
Right.
And then if that's the case, then it's literally her saying, like, the idea of her leaving is put into her mind by this prophecy, and then she makes it happen.
Right.
It is not like it's coming true because it was supposed to. It's coming true because she was told it was going to. And that is blind faith.
It's what she did before, and then the prophecy is written about the thing that she did.
Right. Well, that's true. If it was like...
We don't know the causality.
Is real, and it's the actual wormhole aliens, like, recording something about her... Which doesn't even make sense because they don't give a shit. You know, like they don't they don't know.
Now we get into the other thing of like, why are the wormhole aliens writing these things or getting so specific about Bajor? What is their inherent interest in this?
My theory is that the wormhole aliens are the future of Bajorans. I think that they evolve into prophets.
Like the Borg are for humans?
Yes. Like, remember that episode Transfigurations in Next Generation where that guy becomes a glowing dude in a suit?
Yes.
I love that episode. But basically, John Doe, yeah.
I just finished watching that.
It's a great episode. I love it. What is that, season 4? Or 3?
3 or 4.
I think it's the end of season 3. I think it's the episode right before Best of Both Worlds. So I feel like at some point in Bajor's future history, they evolve into some sort of energy beings, just like everybody seems to do.
That's what everyone in Star Trek. That's your ultimate.
Yeah, totally, the energy being thing. And then they evolve into that, and then like leave time behind and become the prophets. That's my theory. Oh, that's right. You made a meme of this. What does it say?
Oh, it's hard to see on the thing.
Let me see.
Me. Oh wait.
Oh yeah, I just saw this on Instagram. Oh yeah, go follow Doug Space 9 on Instagram because Doug puts these awesome memes up. Oh my god, that's so good. Yeah, that's right. That's that guy.
Yeah, I just watched that episode.
Maybe that's why I was thinking about that because I saw that this morning.
Well, no, and it makes sense. It's the wormhole aliens in a universe with all of these beings who are energy beings who they've shown multiple times evolve from physical beings.
Yeah.
You know, it makes sense that the prophets would be future super evolved Bajorans.
Yeah.
And then this now we're getting way off course, but then there is an interesting discussion about the circular nature of time and causality. And
yes, totally.
Is Kai Wynn, does she have free will if the prophets wrote all of these things, or is her free will an earlier iteration of a time loop that then comes back with prophets, you know?
Right, and
that's now we're just getting into like we're adding our own mushrooms.
Right, and having watched Babylon 5 recently, who did this exact thing so well.
Right,
where there's like this,
it's intentional.
Yeah, there was like this prophecy about. This guy Valen, who was the religious figure for the Minbari, made a lot of prophecies, and they all came true. But then you find out why in the show, exactly why they came true, and it is so fucking awesome and so compelling.
It shows
like
that you
great sci-fi.
Can do
so good.
Time travel, but you have to have your plan in place.
Right.
It's whenever you do time travel as a make 'em up, it's so obvious it's a make 'em up.
Right.
You know, there's
Yeah.
no reasonable person could watch the Babylon Squared episodes and think, oh, he just backfilled that.
No, yeah, of course not.
It's throughout the entire series.
Oh no, he makes sure you know that he planned this because he like cuts in scenes from everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, he's like, oh, totally. That's exactly what it is. It's like, remember, it's gonna happen.
You know what? Kudos
like
to you. He deserves. You could do whatever you want if you're going to craft this beautiful multi-season, two-part gem. You know,
Yeah,
That's,
and it's. I mean, even though I have issues with that show, that's one of my favorite two-parters of any sci-fi show.
Babylon 5.
Like, Babylon 5 hits a crescendo in season 3. That's like really incredible.
Yeah.
But
it's going to be crazy too when we get to season 3 of this. Thinking of like the peak that Babylon 5 had hit at season 3, and where DS9 is like,
yeah, but Babylon 5 kind of
never crashes hard.
Yeah, it never like it doesn't maintain, and DS9 maintains pretty damn hard.
DS9 is a nice like Babylon 5 is a like boo.
Yeah, exactly.
So which is what I love about it. Oh, the 4th season of Babylon 5 is batshit crazy.
Yeah, it's fun, but it's wild.
Fun, but it is a ride.
Yeah.
Okay, we get way off track.
So anyway, the prophecy was probably something pretty vague. Yeah. Probably saying like Kaiopaka will go find her, or the Kai or whatever will like find her purpose and have to leave Bajor.
So here, first of all, I don't think it's I don't think it's a public written prophecy that like other people talk about or scholars know. I think this is a personal vision that Kai was given by the prophets.
Okay.
Something that she's carried with her whole life and never knew.
That is so much better. It's so much better if you have that scene of her as a child, like seeing the prophets.
Seeing the prophets.
Them telling her.
It could be, in my headcanon of this could be the thing that sets her on the path to becoming, like, if you want to make this what we can do, serialized show. So we're going to stretch this out. Now we're going to expand this to multiple seasons. I mean, multiple episodes. You can have young Kai, who's like rejects the prophets in Bajor and is just like, fuck all this. Then she has this vision of the prophets,
and they say like the true good you will do will be after your Kai. After your Kai to this girl, and that's why she pursues being Kai. And that's why she feels like this is where she's supposed to be.
Right.
But I feel like if that's the case,
at the moment where
this is obviously not the place to be, because these people are like, they've been blowing themselves apart for centuries. Like, these people are, you know, this is not the situation for like the brilliant mediator and religious spirituality.
We can fix
like
it.
Saving a civilization. I could see
her own people.
Saving her own people. Yes, absolutely.
Because
or finding that purpose like on Bajor or something, or like on the space station. But it says that she has to leave and go through the wormhole. And like, who says that this is the situation? It's her feeling that this is the one where she's supposed to leave. Right. And it's just such a weird episode, and it's not very well produced, and like the battle scenes are so lame, and these people are not very well fleshed out, and it just doesn't make sense that this is the fulfillment of a lifelong calling for her. I can't believe that.
There's another level of it that's sad, is that if you do take my fix and have her there because of this prophecy that her objectively real gods gave to her, and then still what it is that she's in this dismal end of her life that will not end and will probably include a huge amount of suffering. Like, there's also something really dark about that.
Like, her life is awful from that day forward, you know?
And here's another failing of episodic Star Trek is this is it. Like, we can just say, spoiler alert,
totally.
You never go back to this planet.
We do not go back to the story. It sucks.
But there could be something interesting here of, like, what if she did manage to do good? Or what if something did move forward?
What if when you come back, there is this, like, amazing civilization that, like, was kind of built with her help, and maybe, like, she's able to help people actually die, and, like...
And I hadn't thought about it before. This is literally right on the other side of the wormhole.
I know.
This is like
right there.
And no one goes back. No one's like, maybe we can fix these satellites. Maybe we can Star Trek the shit out of this.
With like all of the like with the holodeck and with all of the shit that they have, the technology, why can't they create like an artificial version of this environment that people could survive in off of this planet? I feel like they could definitely do that. If all of this situation exists and we have to take it at face value, the fact that they can't take them with them seems like a solvable problem.
Here's another axiom of Star Trek, is that literally nothing is impossible. So if you wanted to, as a storyteller, hint to the next episode, if as a storyteller you wanted to get them off the planet, you could.
Absolutely. And they just don't because they don't want to, and it feels like bad writing. So I think that to answer your question,
Is that how you feel?
that's why I didn't like that episode that much.
50 minutes in. How do you feel about this episode?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I did
Why do we assume this was a lifelong prophecy?
Oh, we're doing that to try to justify why
Right.
Kai Wynn is leaving her people at like a crucial
Right.
moment in their history.
We're trying to add
they
weight
haven't-
to the prophecy.
They haven't shown much of I said Kai Wynn. They haven't shown much of Kaiopaka,
yeah, Kaiopaka.
but you can get the feeling that she cares about her people. She's dedicated to Bajor, and she is a believer. She really does believe in the prophet. So Jesse raises a very good point, which is why would she just throw it all away to live on this planet forever? Or why would she even go to the wormhole in the first place, knowing that this could lead to her death? So we imagine this prophecy, this in my mind, like a touch one of the orbs and has a vision that she's carried with her whole life that guide her to this point and that justify why she's now leaving her people basically at a crux in their history.
Yeah. Yeah, which I think you kind of have to do to make the character make sense, because like, with what you're presented of this character, she wouldn't just abandon her people.
And I personally am a huge fan of using your own headcanon to kind of paper over things, and it's even more delicious if you can justify it. Like, and I feel like this one, if you watch it again now, just watch the first 10 minutes, thinking to yourself that Kaiopaka had a vision from when she was a child that told her she's supposed to do this, you'd be like, oh yeah, it's all right there.
I agree. I totally agree.
I
think that that's the headcanon that I love, is when you can actually fix something and like, or point something out. You've done this a couple times where you pointed something out to me that actually fixed something.
Yeah,
I was like, well,
Discovery.
that doesn't bother me anymore. We got to talk about Discovery.
All I'm saying is that I'm really good at watching Star Trek. Kira's faith. This is the first time they've shown her faith, I feel like, in a strong way.
Oh my God! We
devastated.
forgot to talk about that performance choice.
I'm jumping into it
Kai
now.
dies. Yeah, thank you.
I feel like we've summarized the episode.
Yes.
and why we both. You don't like it. I don't like it / mixed feelings. But yeah, so Kira is devastated when Kai dies.
Yeah.
And that's the first, I think, really showing the level of personal faith that she has, or at least not faith, but attachment to this religion.
Right.
Where
and how the people of Bajor feel about their Kai.
Yeah, and I don't think they had gotten into that beforehand.
Not really. But yeah, what did you think of her performance? I thought for me, it was too much. It was
if Bashir's in the episode, there's no one who's doing too much. Bashir, give me my medical bag now.
Rayo Vantica.
He just can't. I don't know what
One
it
of
is.
my rabbits is named Rayo Vantica.
I think he's a wonderful. I mean, I sometimes really do enjoy his acting.
Yeah.
But he is someone who has got to stay in his lane, and his lane is either creepy or easygoing, cocky charm. And
You know, it's interesting. I was rewatching recently some of the Tiny Baby Talk Show. Doug and I met through doing this live. It was basically like a web series,
TV
sitcom, live
chat
talk show thing.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Tiny Baby Talk Show.
Tiny Baby Talk Show. So I was rewatching some of that recently. And it was so funny to see you in that, because like we didn't know each other that well.
Right, you're just some dude in the back.
Yeah, totally. I'm like, oh yeah, Doug was in that. That's weird. He's very familiar now. Very familiar. But yeah, I was watching it, and Dan, two people named Dan wrote that show,
Right.
but Dan DeRozier always told me that, who's been on like some game streams before. You guys probably know Dan. He's like told me many times that he didn't know how to write for me on that show. That my friend Barton and I were the house band, and we wrote music every week, and that was our main function.
But sometimes you'd get
But we also had
parts.
dialogue,
Yeah.
and he gave me a lot of lines that like I didn't know how to deliver, because it was like I don't know what this is. Like I have to say this. And how do I say this? Like, this doesn't make sense to me.
Right, and he doesn't know your...
Oh, Rock and RC watched some of that.
Nice. He can't characterize you enough, or there's nothing about your personality that he can sum up in a way of like, I'm writing in Jesse's voice.
Yeah, he told me specifically, I don't know how to write in your voice. Whereas, like, Barton, like, improvised so much.
Well, and Barton was also just like...
He was so good.
Yeah, he is like a character.
Yeah, he had a character for that part, and I didn't have one. I didn't bring one to the table, and then, like, one wasn't really written for me, so I didn't really know what to do most of the time.
Right.
Like, there was an episode that wasn't in the web... It was pre-web series where I turned into a bee, and then, like, I ended up, like, killing someone and coming back in covered in blood.
Yeah.
And I loved that. Like, that one I could totally wrap my head around.
Yeah,
and
ham
it's
it
like,
up?
Yeah, just go crazy, ham it up. I can totally do that. but like in general, and specifically on some of the web series episodes, there was lines that I had to deliver where I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And when I watched it, I'm like, I'm not very good at that. You know, like I'm delivering those lines poorly, and I feel like I should have. Well, I'm also like not an actor, so should has nothing to do with it. But those are the lines I was given, and they weren't necessarily written for my voice, and I didn't know how to deliver them, and it didn't work out very well. And it really reminds me of when Julian Bashir goes out of his lane. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I can kind of feel where he's coming from.
It's a long way to get there, but I get your point.
Yeah, I'm so long-winded right now. I don't know why I needed to tell that whole story to make that
good.
point.
We get to tell people about Tiny Baby. Nice plug.
Yeah, but sometimes I feel bad, like watching actors do things choices that I wouldn't make.
It gets cringy. Like when you because
cringy.
you ideally shouldn't notice that someone is acting. Right, that should be an invisible thing.
Yeah.
In writing, there's a guy who, and I don't know if it's his or general writing, but they talk about hiding the pipe. So which basically is
like in a wall.
Yeah. So in a show, story pipe, right?
Yeah.
So if you can hide it, then that's good. And Star Trek is really bad sometimes about hiding the pipe, where you're like, there it is. They're doing this just to connect to here.
Absolutely, that is a great way of saying it, because this episode is so guilty of that.
Right, and the acting, and that's what Bashir is doing. When you can see him do his stern voice, it's like,
the walls are open, the pipes are leaking,
you don't even know how to
water is on
angry.
the floor. Like, the story does not hold together. Are there like little character moments in this episode we're forgetting? Because there's always such great character stuff.
That's why I was looking at my notes. So, yeah, the Kira thing. Here was the other note that I wrote was Kai dies, and they ask her after she comes back.
Yeah.
And she says, like, she died, and then there was nothing.
Oh, yeah.
So that's also, I watched on the second time, I was like, ugh. So even though their gods are real, which are the wormhole aliens, there's zero afterlife for.
Yeah.
Right? Or not in a way that she can perceive.
I hadn't thought about that. That's interesting. And also, like, no vision of the prophets. Like, she's someone who's connected to the prophets.
Right, so she just lights out.
Yeah. Interesting. That's so interesting. What an interesting point that is not talked about, and I really wish it had been.
Completely dropped,
yeah. Wow. Well, should we rate this episode?
Yeah, let's we're hitting at the hour mark.
Let's pull up our spreadsheet. Okay, everybody. Rating for this episode from 1 to 10. Bars of gold pressed latinum. Create poll. Here is your link, chat. Oh, 6 likes. Thank you, guys. All right, there's your link. Doug, how do you rate this show?
Probably a 5.
Really, a 5? Damn.
What, is that like high?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, it is.
You're listening to voicemail.
Overdue bills. So they're calling me now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That was your credit card number.
It is important to the story. I think it's a load-bearing episode in terms of the overall arc of Deep Space Nine. The Jeffrey Banks, what's his name?
Jonathan
Banks. I did like his performance in this episode, and it is not a good episode, but it's not bad. So yeah, 5. It's just like okay. That's a meh rating for me. I don't hate it. It doesn't anger me. I can paper over in my mind all of the stuff with Kai,
Yeah.
So there's elements that I can take a reading of this that makes it interesting to me, and then ignore all of the ridiculousness of the magic nanite stuff.
Yeah.
And then still get to a 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the episode is supposed to be about the pointlessness of war, which frustrates me also. Something I forgot to mention earlier that I was going to say is that, like, not all wars are pointless. Sometimes you find yourself in a situation where, like, someone is talking about free will. Someone is, like, actively strangling your free will, and sometimes you have to fight to get it back.
Right.
And those wars are not pointless. So, I recognize that there is a trope of pointless war in Star Trek, and that it is interesting coming off of the Vietnam era, like, I guess right before the Vietnam era is when Star Trek came out. Right?
60. I don't know.
Was the Vietnam War before or after Star Trek?
Had to have been before.
Hey, what's up, John? Good idea, poorly executed, plus we never get a follow-up. Exactly, yeah. I really, I'm actually super curious, because is this trope something that comes out of the Vietnam War? I think that's actually really important to know. But yeah, so you didn't see it as war is pointless, you saw it as some people can't avoid war. Interesting, yeah. Yeah, because I do think that there's an interesting story to be told, and like you've been fighting for so long that you don't remember why.
Oh yeah, so this was Star Trek came out in the midst of
the war.
Yeah, Vietnam War is listed as 1955 to 1975.
Oh wow.
And Star Trek was 66. So.
Okay, yeah, I think I actually remember reading that episode was inspired by the Vietnam War, the Frank Gorshin episode.
Ah, yeah.
So this whole trope in Star Trek of like war is pointless came from a war that people were actively questioning whether or not we should be in, and which I think we should always be doing whenever we're in a war. And I think that is important. But again, this episode doesn't really talk about that. It like just presents it, and then just shows that these people are stubborn assholes, and then leaves them to rot with the Kai.
Oh yeah. So we didn't even. Yeah, we've said so much of our other derivations, but this is an interesting thing in Star Trek where they have the solution to their problem. And then they're just like, nah, you guys are assholes, so you're not going to get it. See you later.
The solution is that they could give them death back.
Right, they could kill them all permanently.
Right.
So instead, they're going to let them suffer eternally.
But he's like, well, then we can finally kill all the null Ennis, and it will just be the Ennis for happiness for all eternity with our broken bodies that should have limbs missing but don't.
Which also, if they had given him that, then it would have been like, well, Kai Wynn's going to be dead tomorrow.
Yeah, it just doesn't hold together. It's like very unsatisfying. I am giving this episode a 2.
Yeah. Cisco also ready to break the Prime Directive at the drop of a hat.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like directly interfering in the conflict of another planet. That is the Prime Directive.
That's when he gives Bashir the like, don't tell me how to interpret the Prime Directive.
Yeah. And the chat gives us a 5.5.
Yep.
Wow, so chat's in pretty much agreement with you.
Boom. So I'm good at watching Star Trek.
Nice. Okay, so who do we want to nominate for favorite character?
Ugh, no one.
Let's see. Favorite... Kai Opaka, I gotta nominate. I'm gonna put Dax and O'Brien in there. I'm gonna put Kira in there.
Kira.
Cisco. And... Bashir, because I think those are the people that are really kind of feature in this.
Oh, but also...
And maybe Jonathan Banks.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is. You saw this episode as You Can't Have It Easy. Opaka was the leader who kept Bajor together through the occupation. With her gone, the Bajorans now have a harder time recovering. Yeah, and we were talking about that earlier. Like, this is the worst time to leave her people. So frustrating. Okay, so here is your poll. Voting on favorite character in this episode. Doug, what do you think?
Oh, I was looking at who he played. Golan
Shella.
And I don't remember ever them saying his last name, whatever. So
Golan Shella sounds like a Hebrew prayer. Baruch atah Adonai, Golan Shella. Eloheinu melech haolam.
May all your wars be short.
May all your wars be short and fruitful. Oh my god.
That could be a Bajoran.
Oh, Opaka for the blooper reaction. I have seen that. It is awesome. It is so funny. It is so funny. Okay. Oh yeah, we're doing favorite character.
So who was the favorite character?
Here's our choices that we've got.
It's gonna be Jonathan Banks.
Really?
Yeah. He was my favorite
Golan?
Yeah. I don't know if you do... What do we do here? What's our policy? Oh yeah, character.
Yeah.
I see Fallow up there.
Yeah. And why?
Oh, just because it's such a episode.
Sir?
Because everything else about it, all the other people from the regular cast, they don't do anything of note in this one. You know. Yeah. Again,
O'Brien invents a magnetomer of some kind.
Skipping episodes is false trek, and you should never skip episodes. But this is one that you wish you could skip, and you can't. And so I have to judge the regular crew, and they just don't do anything that stands out.
Yeah, I would still skip this episode and just have someone tell you what happens to Kai Opaka, because it's just boring.
We'll have to watch. Maybe when Kai Wynn is introduced, they'll say enough.
Maybe
the previously on kind of
maybe
thing.
Yeah. Although I love Kaiopaka so much, and Kaiopaka is actually going to get my vote for favorite character. Even though I don't like what they do with her here,
right.
I'm still the most interested in her out of everyone. I love that character. I think that her performance is so fucking good. Even in this episode that didn't really make sense or satisfy me at all. Like, it gets a 2 instead of a 1 because Kaiopaka's in it, and I really like Kaiopaka.
Gotcha.
I think part of my frustration is how much I like her and miss her. She didn't get my vote in the first episode. That's interesting.
Well, because we probably both voted for Cisco.
I voted for Dax. And then let's see.
Corn dog.
Favorite character. Kaiopaka wins. It was close. Jonathan Banks was right behind. Me and chat agree. Okay, and now
chat, fine.
Best performance. Best performance. Okay, we got to put Kira in there for her death whale.
Yeah, death thing.
We got to put Opaka in there.
Yeah.
Cisco. Jonathan Banks.
Yeah, Mike Ermelot.
Mike Ermelot, yeah. Or Ermintrout.
Ermintrout.
It sounded right to me when you said that for some reason. Anyone else? The leader of the Null Ennis? I'm just kidding.
He was all right, actually, for like no lines.
It's just such a badly written scene.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with that, you know? Bashir, for best performance. He's not in there. I didn't put him. It's too late.
Too late. Joke vote.
I should have looked. I will try to remember to look at chat. Okay, best performance. Who do you think?
I'm going to go with Jonathan Banks again.
Really?
Yeah. I think that he did make this A story compelling in a way that it shouldn't and didn't deserve to be, you know, but
he did not get me there.
Yeah.
As good as he was.
Oh, and again, this is like, I mean, I have to pick someone, so it's grading on a scale here.
Yeah. Yeah, and usually, like, both of us don't line up favorite character and best performance, but I'm also going to go Kaiopaka. What is her name?
I just looked it up. Camille, Camile. Saviola.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I just think she's so good. And chat says Kira.
Woo! Yeah. Well, she has that intense, the crying scene.
Yeah. For me, it didn't work, but you know what? Great, good for Kira.
I believed it. It did work for me, but it was also like that was one note for her, and it's not her fault at all. But she just didn't get enough chance to do more. So
yeah,
I can't throw her the bone.
Nana Visitor's on the cover of some magazine right now, and every time I go to PCC, it's like she looks great. Like I saw her give a talk at a Star Trek convention, a Q&A. She was fucking awesome.
She has like shock white hair now, right?
Yeah. Like dyed that color, I think.
Okay.
But it looks awesome.
Yeah,
I really like
choice.
it. Yeah. I love gray. I really want to go gray. I want to go gray and not bald.
Ever since I was a kid, I've always said I can't wait for gray.
Yeah.
And I always wanted it to be like at the time it was Reed Richards.
Oh shit! Totally. Yeah.
But it's gonna probably pepper
it might happen.
Right. Well, like if it's like the beard is peppering in, so I'm assuming this.
Yeah, your beard is like peppering in this way. You might have
maybe
a time.
Maybe it'll be the beard that overtakes the.
Yeah, you might have a time
this
where
whole time
like
I thought it was
Richardsing.
I thought my head hair was in charge, and it cascaded down. It's really beard out.
I'm really been beard out recently.
Okay, how many mushrooms does this episode get?
Oh yes, how many space mushrooms? Well, this episode doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. Like,
this is like a 9.
Yeah, this is like a 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah,
like,
10 out of, it's
so bad at explaining itself that I have to discard it. I can't. This one has to leave my personal headcanon for the rest of the show to make sense.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
And if you want to have it all make sense, it's everything. It's not even like a fragile. Like we talked about some things where they're fragile. You're like, look at this beautiful thing, and then you look too close and it all shatters.
Right.
This is you're like, what happened? And it's your car breaks down. You pull over the side of the road. You're like, all right, I'm going to take a look at it. You open up the hood. There's a piece of paper in there that says the word engine on it. And you're like, oh, yeah, well, no wonder.
That was the best analogy. It just got better and better, and it landed in the exact place that's like, that is what it was like.
If you look at anything in this episode, there's a writer going, I don't care.
Totally. And you know what? I actually read about this on Memory Alpha. This episode was not written for Deep Space Nine. It was a story idea that had been sitting on Michael Pillar's desk for years for Next Generation that he never really wanted to make.
Yeah.
So and then
you
it
can
just
kind of
finally
see that because
Yeah.
this is one where you're just like it's a sci-fi story that's happening that the Star Trek characters are watching.
Yeah, I think both of these episodes that was true.
I could see that. Definitely.
The Storyteller was definitely not
Oh, I
written for Deep
forgot
Space
we
Nine.
have to talk about the Storyteller.
Well, it's a much better episode though. Like even if it's not great, it's so much better, and the Storyteller I think has so much charm, even though it doesn't quite make sense either.
All right, let's
take a break.
No, let's pull up the meme for this episode.
Oh yes, the meme. Thank you.
And then we'll take a break after the meme.
Yeah. And don't forget to just search for Doug Space 9 on Instagram. Doug has been making these awesome memes based off of every episode that we've been watching. So here's this week's. You have a child, don't you?
I have a little girl, Mom.
Would you give this to her for me?
Ugh. Maybe I can sell this garbage to Quark.
Why did she give it to O'Brien?
It also never comes up again. He's
know.
carrying around what would be
The last
an
gift
invaluable
of the Kai. Oops.
Like he could probably buy an island on Bajor with that.
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
He could be the founder of a religion because if there's one thing that we do see about the Bajorans is they will believe fucking anything. Okay, well let's
we'll talk about that in the Storyteller. Okay, we'll be right back, you guys. All right, we're back. And yeah, you can see right there. Next time we're doing Progress and If Wishes Were Horses. If you notice, like halfway through our break, that switched because for some reason it didn't refresh, even though I made a new one and I realized it and switched it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You did a lot of prep.
I did.
You're allowed one misstep.
Yeah, whatever. I made so many missteps. All right, you guys, we're back and we're going to talk about The Storyteller. Episode what, 13?
Yeah, Netflix 13.
Hey, Jermacion, what's up, man? So this episode is like kind of adorable. It's like adorably flawed.
Yes.
But I really enjoy it. I mean, the basic premise is that there's this Bajoran village that has this evil entity that tries to kill them once every season.
Year. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Nadina? Yeah, once every year, basically. And they have this storyteller who, like, unites the crowd to defeat this evil village smoke monster from Lost.
Right.
And
who lives in the forest?
It is a smoke monster from Lost. Yeah, what the? Anyway, so the storyteller dies, and he chooses O'Brien to replace him. So now O'Brien is stuck being this like religious figure in this village, and then he has to worm his way out of it by getting this guy who tried to stab him the job of storyteller.
Who's the real
Syrah.
Right.
And it's like it's kind of adorable watching this fish out of water story with O'Brien.
Yeah.
And also you get the first real instance of like O'Brien and Bashir together.
Right.
Where they will become like this wonderful duo on the show. And finally Bashir is not like horribly obnoxious in this level.
Right.
I'm playing too much Mario in this episode. He's actually like kind of like the character that I remember liking, you know?
Amanda made the point last week, like, this is the first time we see somebody call out Bashir for being annoying.
Bashir, I think what she was saying was Bashir is self-aware of his annoyingness for the first time, right?
Or
maybe both. I think she said both.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bashir, yeah, totally. Bashir both things happen.
That he's annoying.
Bashir realizes that he's driving O'Brien crazy and asks him, like, do I bother you? You know? Am I annoying you? Do you fucking hate me?
No, sir.
Oh, it's what I said. Okay, I was right. You're right. Yeah, so there's a lot that I really like about this episode. But, that being said, it really bothers me that they just put this on Bajor. It does not make sense. With everything that we know about the Bajoran faith and the Bajoran people, to then kind of cast them as these superstitious idiots.
This village.
This village of people don't know that they have been duped into, you know, creating this... the monster was created by the first storyteller.
Right, so this has been going on for decades, centuries?
Yeah, we find out that that this guy used a shard of an orb of the prophets, which is how the only way that it ties into Bajor at all is that there's a shard of the orb of the prophets. So he uses that to create the monster. He amplifies the bad feelings of the villagers to create the monster. Hatred. It's their own. It's basically Armis from the thing that killed Tashiar,
right?
But in cloud form. It's like if Armis and the smoke monster from Lost had a baby, it'd be this thing. And that doesn't make sense. Like that straight up doesn't make sense. That he used the shard of the orb of the how did he what?
So much of it, and then it was like,
and then it comes back at the same time every year. This does not fucking make sense.
And what is this village is just so filled with hate because it has been with them for generations, because this is not the first Syrah. This has been going on.
Yeah.
And this was to solve a problem where they thought the village was going to get, the first Syrah thought the village was going to get torn apart by their fighting and their hatred. So now
it's like a tiny little peaceful looking village.
Now now what hatred is it? Is it basically, if we don't do this, then now the smoke monster that we created is going to kill us all?
I think so. It doesn't make sense.
But the smoke monster is powered by their own energy, right? Isn't it?
I don't know. And I don't know because it does not make sense.
It does not. It's
Therefore,
so bad.
It doesn't make sense.
But this really does. That's what I was saying before. The Bajorans will believe anything.
Yeah, and it's frustrating because it sets them up to look that way.
They look like real dopes.
Yeah, when they're also trying to kind of set the Bajorans up to be this like deeply religious and respectable people.
Right.
I feel like this episode harms that cause.
Yeah.
And that's very frustrating.
Headcanon for this, you have to believe that this village is like we have here. You have just like an enclave of religious zealot isolationists, you know, that these are just like, oh, you've just crash landed in Jonestown. You know, that the Federation came here.
Yeah.
The Federation was duped. because they were told this village is going to get destroyed unless you send somebody down here.
Yeah, and what the fuck was that? Like, why did they send
their... No.
None of that, the setup didn't make sense either, and they sent the chief engineer.
Right, you would have wanted to have sent the doctor.
There's like something about an atmospheric disturbance or something.
I don't know.
No, they don't even say, do they? They just say the village is on the verge of destruction. What did they say in the beginning? I don't remember.
Maybe this is how bad Starfleet is that you can just call up and you dial Deep Space 911, call up, be like, oh, dude, our village is, like, totally fucked tomorrow. You hang up and they're like, I don't know, someone go down there and check it out.
Yeah, let's send the most important chief engineer we've got, you know? It could have been a fucking prank call. So, yeah, it's one of those things where, like, talking about laying story pipe.
Yeah.
Like, once again, the walls are open and the pipes are leaking water on the ground. But it's a fun episode that is, like, an enjoyable story.
Yeah.
It's like they had this good idea for a story and they had to shoehorn it into a Deep Space Nine episode, and they did that awkwardly.
Yeah.
But they used the characters well, and they told a compelling narrative, and it had a trajectory. It went somewhere, and it was satisfying and fun.
Right.
And, like, seeing O'Brien, like, try to tell the story with the giant monster behind him was really cool, you know?
Ladies and gentlemen of the village.
Yeah, and he does such a bad job, and it's so awkward.
Once upon a time...
Yeah.
There was a man who used to work at a very wonderful transporter room on a giant space boat and then was transferred to the mall with his nagging wife.
Oh, yeah. I know. I was
Keiko did nothing wrong.
I was listening to Star Trek: The Next Conversation. They were talking about The Wounded, which is the one with O'Brien and the Cardassians, and his character was so different back then.
Yeah.
He was like, but I think it is actually kind of consistent because he was just a suck up, you know?
Yeah.
He was just like kissing Picard's ass all the time. He's like, it's the best place I've ever served, sir.
Yeah.
And then the day that he left, the very day he left, and Picard's like, this was your favorite transporter room. He's like, it's just a transporter room.
Yeah.
I've just been kissing up, you know? Like, there is a shift that happens on day one that I think is premeditated to make him a little bit less like of a kiss ass, and a little bit more of like a I never really cared about this.
I've made ships in a bottle.
Yeah.
See? O'Brien has.
Ships in a bottle.
Yeah.
Great fun.
Then Riker. Seriously?
Yeah, totally. He's never made a ship in a bottle. You know, he's just trying to get on Picard's good side.
What's also funny, just to get into weird deep dives of Star Trek canon.
Hi, Andy.
Hi, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I have a question that needs immediate response from their mother.
Oh.
She's at the Tau of Tea, and she wants to know if there's anything we are in need of.
Just the one I already texted her is great.
You texted? I didn't get it.
Oh, she sent another text about it earlier.
She sent me a separate text, not with you in it, so I'm so sorry.
Just the Monkey King.
I'm sorry for interrupting.
Oh, it's fine.
Apology accepted.
Come say hi.
We need the Monkey King.
It's my favorite tea in the world. It's from this place in Portland, the Tao of Tea.
Is that a pizza cat in space?
Yeah, it totally is.
And matching socks. Pizza.
That's amazing.
In space.
Yeah.
Okay, you're coordinated. I'm into it. Wow. Hi everyone. I didn't watch the episodes this week. I'm really sorry. The holidays got away with me and
Dodged a couple bullets.
Yeah.
That's what I heard that they weren't must-sees, but
No.
but
The second one is pretty fun though.
I have
moments.
been watching a lot of TNG that we may need to talk about on another
Oh yeah,
day.
she watched The Inner Light
Oh, okay.
the other day.
Fascinating
We had a
episode.
long discussion about
Yes,
that.
today is not the day, but I will be back. I keep forgetting that the camera's there and not
Yeah,
here, and I
yeah.
keep being like,
Yeah.
hello. Anyway.
Hey there.
my eyes?
Look into my eyeballs! Or my hairline, whichever one you see first.
There's just a lot of us screaming in the
Yes,
microphone.
it's true.
We tested for that earlier.
You did?
Yeah.
We did a yell check before we started.
Yeah,
it was
Ensign yell
very
check.
helpful.
That's
And then we
fun.
decided that it was the name of a character, Ensign Yelcheck.
Ensign Yelcheck, come to the bridge. We need some help. What do you need from me? Oh, no, we're good. Thank you. That's all we needed.
That's amazing! Oh my god. There should be a day where he's really sick and he just speaks really softly.
And then that screws things up because they're all calibrated on him yelling.
Yeah. Oh man. We figured it out.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, thanks for letting me pop in.
Anytime.
Pop in.
Bye.
Andy pop-ins are always welcome on the stream.
Yeah.
Oh, so the ridiculous thing, we're going off onto a super obscure tangent. That discussion they have at the transporter about ships in a bottle, it's Riker, Picard, O'Brien, and Worf.
Okay.
And then O'Brien is being the suck up, and then that's kind of like the joke of the scene. But in a previous episode, they showed Worf, like, angrily flipping over a table or something while he was trying to build a ship in a bottle.
Really?
Yeah. There's like, and then I think it's someone comes in, like Troy or someone comes in, and he's clearly agitated. But then they don't talk about that. It's just
wow.
this is one little visual aside.
That was before this episode.
I'm positive it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember both scenes. I don't remember the order in which they happened. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, anyways,
yeah,
I feel like neither here nor there.
I feel like sometimes with like shows with a lot of writers where the like TNG, the main arc is character development. It's not like story development. Like I feel like sometimes it becomes up to the actor to be the one to say, "Oh, well, this
right.
this like contradicts what I did in this episode," because I feel like those things get missed a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unless you have like a really strong head writer who's like aware of everything.
Right.
And TNG switched head writers like 3 times.
Yeah.
Before they got a really strong head writer.
And now that
Michael Piller.
you have like the people like us and other people who are even more obsessive, where it's just like documenting every facet of Star Trek.
Yeah, and it's because like I don't think either of us are the type of like militant, angry nerds who really, you know, like need everything to be consistent.
I like to make fun of people that need it to be consistent because it's clearly not, and it never has been, and it never will be.
Totally,
and that's part of the fun is the headcanon to like force it in as much as possible. There's a great website someone has where it's like basically like fixing Star Trek, where they're for every episode or movies they've got a list of what they see as their problems, and then attempts of like, well, if you look at it, it's like a catalog of someone's headcanon.
Yeah,
and some of them are just like, I don't know what you're gonna do here.
Yeah, but it's interesting because like I do get upset if a show betrays its own moral code. Like there are times that Star Trek, like what they do with Worf's brother Kern really bothers me.
We'll get to that. Yeah,
the whole discussion we just had about the last episode and Kai Opaka's like free will, when they kind of ignore classical like tenets of what makes Star Trek great, I get upset. But I don't care as much when like Worf has built a ship in a bottle. I'm like, that's funny. Yeah, I like to point that out because like, haha, you missed the thing.
Absolutely.
But I don't care further than that.
No, and it doesn't matter. And that's like the absolute least of the concern. It's like the design of the Klingons. You just let it go. It's not relevant.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still like the change on the Klingons was too much for me.
Yeah, it's just like the designs of the ships, like the controls. When you look at controls of TOS, you're just like, how did you get to space?
Yeah,
with just like 4 colored.
Like
buttons?
even the JJ movies, when you have the actual Enterprise, that was the same exact ship and it looks completely different. I'm like, I like what they did with it. You know, this is a nice update, and I didn't feel that way about the Klingons because I didn't particularly care for what they did with it. So if I had
if you had liked the end result,
new makeup better, then I would have been like, great. But like, I like the old makeup way better.
Yeah. See, I justify the means across the board. I don't need the ends to justify it. I feel like
and I'm convinced that they did that just to hide Ash Tyler in Klingon makeup. I'm convinced.
Yeah, that's a fair
Discovery is still a trash fire. Absolutely. Okay, so the B plot in this episode is actually pretty great. Yeah, it's Nog and Jake together again, and they are teaching this young ruler, the Tetrarch of some like the Paku.
Oh, right. Because actually, there's in a way there's like 2.5 stories in this one. There's the Storyteller.
Yeah.
Then there's the Tetrarch, and then there's because that is its own story,
right?
But then also Jake and Nog, like the like Tetrarch and Jake and Nog,
friendship and flirtation.
Yeah, because those are interweaving stories.
Yeah, totally. And they both kind of have arcs.
Yeah,
I would call that all the B story, but I totally see what you're saying. That like
there's halves of that.
There's halves of that, and when you get like because you have this whole series of scenes with the Tetrarch meeting with the other guy to talk about border disputes. And those scenes feel very separate and feel like a completely different arc from Jake and Nog making friends with her and teaching her about being willing to make compromise. Right. Like compromise doesn't always make you weak.
And those are like mechanical elements to drive the her into the Jake and Nog plot.
Yeah.
Those just sort of happen. This is hidden pipe.
Yes, they have actually drywalled over this pipe.
Yeah, and it's great.
I'm so proud of them.
It works well.
Yeah.
The dispute is believable and fits so beautifully within the fabric
What we
of Deep
know
Space
about
Nine.
Bajor
Yeah,
and-
the
yeah,
solution
totally.
to it works. Nog's
And,
participation in the solution is brilliant.
It's so good because
Yeah.
this is the first real example of using the Ferengi ethos for good.
Yeah.
Where, like, if you have a disagreement with somebody, why don't you look at what you have to gain and what they
Right.
have to gain and find some way for you both to gain?
right. Can the
you
free
know?
market solve this problem?
Yeah, totally.
Can capitalism come to the rescue of this negotiation?
Yeah, it's like, even though greed is kind of at the base of a lot of their ideas, it's not a bad idea, and it works in this scenario.
And this Bajor is not presented as a utopia,
Right,
So
and the solution is not about greed; it's about mutual
value.
benefit.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of
Greed
Ferengi
would be taking
society,
it all.
I think just calling Ferengi greedy is actually a minimalization of like a lot of interesting
Yes.
ideas about like commerce and balance.
Say what you will about the Ferengi,
But-
there are a lot of good points in the rules of acquisition.
Is that true?
That's how I'm summarizing your argument.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't believe that if it's Jake. I mean, it's Jake. If it's Quark talking, or if it's the Grand Negus talking. But if Nog is talking, I believe it because Nog is this like perfect example, and even Rom later on in the
Right.
series. Perfect example of how there are other types of Ferengi
Yes.
who are still Ferengi and
Right.
still like exist within this culture,
Right. 'Cause
Where,
you take-
where good can come from it and
Like,
positivity can come from it.
Klingons are presented as genetically angry as a species.
Yeah.
And the Ferengi are not presented as genetically greedy. It's a cultural choice they're
Yeah.
making.
Yeah,
They've
it's a
chosen
cultural value. Yeah.
I do feel like there's a reading that could have that Bajorans are genetically predisposed to believe bullshit. That they will just swallow anything and be like, "Yep."
Well, this episode goes a long way to proving that
Like
point.
the whole history of Bajor is like, this plant is now our god.
Like, shit, we gotta worship this plant.
Everyone listen to the coffee mug.
Oh my god, fuck the plant. Give me the coffee mug.
Yeah.
Tell me the secrets of the perfect brew. Yeah, so there's a lot that works about this episode.
Yeah.
There's some very obvious and glaring things that don't. And this episode has like a terrible rap, it's made fun of a lot in fan circles. It's not well regarded.
Because of what is the A story based on the
Right.
title is laughable.
But it's fun, and I
It's
enjoy it, and
fun,
like that's
yeah,
what I
yeah.
want from a TV show is to enjoy myself, and I care more about character stuff than I do about plot stuff.
Right.
And there's great character stuff in this episode.
Yeah.
And I love that the Tetrarch, who you're supposed to kind of empathize with, as far as like Jake and Nog are concerned,
Right.
I think she's wrong. I think that her stance that like the river was diverted because of the Cardassians, so now like the letter of the law is that we get all the land up into the river, and the Cardassians moved it, so now we get your land.
Right.
Like that's wrong. I mean,
Well, I mean, it is following the letter of the law.
sure, but I think that like morally, and I think that like based off of the intent of the law, that is wrong.
Oh, this is my other thing about Bajorans is that, yeah, Klingons are inherently genetically angry. Bajorans clearly are just prone to argue with each other as well. That they are every time they show Bajorans, there's like factions against factions,
Sure. And yeah, I think that also speaks a lot to them being right out of the occupation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, like broken as a people,
It is interesting. I hadn't thought about it. Is that both episodes are kind of about intractable combats and intractable conflicts.
Yeah,
There's there's the two villages that are fighting over the interpretation of the law.
Right.
In the first episode, it's the people that are fighting the war that they can't remember.
Right.
And then it's the village who were so argumentative and combative against themselves that they had to be tricked into getting out of the loop.
Yeah, this is totally like the John Sheridan School of Politics, like from Babylon
Let's
5.
just trick them.
Whatever you think is best, just like trick everyone into doing it.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is a moral thing to do. Like, how do you feel about it? Because this is another example in this episode.
No, because I am not someone who is like the ends justify the means.
Yeah.
The means have to justify themselves. It's why you don't like the redesign, because you think that they're doing it for a purpose.
They're doing it to try to trick the audience, and it didn't work.
Right.
So what was the fucking point?
Right. And to me, it's like,
now we have fucking purple Klingons, and what are we gonna do?
My take on that is that, well, redesigns are fine. The reasons don't matter. If the redesigns are okay, then the redesigns are okay.
Sure. Yeah, I can see. I wish I felt that way because, it's totally like it's so selfish of me because it's just like if I like the redesign, it's okay, and if I don't like the redesign, it's not okay.
But at least you acknowledge it.
Yeah, I do acknowledge it, but I feel like it's the intent of the redesign.
Right. So here the question is like, was it okay for the Syrah to trick the village into getting along with each other? That's what you're saying about.
I feel like maybe that's the best that the Syrah could come up with.
Right.
And that it's for me that's happened.
Yeah.
That's already happened.
We have to take that.
We have to take that. But now we know that that's not what happened. Like now we know about the trick.
Right.
Like why don't we use our technology to fucking like turn off the smoke monster and tell this society that like they've learned to get along together.
They've defeated it for the last time.
They defeated for the or I would just fucking tell them like, yeah, like our ancestors did this, and we've decided that this village doesn't need this anymore, and we want you to know the truth.
What if people have died in the past because of the attack of the smoke?
You're right. Just tell them that it's the last time.
Someone's gonna be like, my mother died.
That's the type of truth that could dismantle that society.
Absolutely.
But this is a hard question because
it still exists on Bajor now for the rest of Deep Space Nine. You have to understand,
right?
Because Deep Space Nine runs for 7 seasons,
right?
So
every year,
right? What is it called? The Marduk? They call it something. The Dalrock.
The Dalrock.
Yeah. So for
you shall not pass in for another season.
So for another 6 years, the Dalrock is being fought by the Syrah.
The Dalrock. Yeah. Man, that's an interesting moral question because I feel like enough time has passed and the society has progressed enough that it would be healthy for them to know the truth.
Absolutely.
And I think that they could maybe handle the truth.
Yeah.
But I don't live there. I don't know. I don't speak for those people. I feel like first of all, it's not Starfleet's place because of the Prime Directive.
Right.
But if it was me in that situation, I would want to tell people. I think what I would do is I would try to pull aside like a leader or two of the community and tell them the truth and say like I want to leave it up to you guys as to whether or not we like share this with the rest of the group.
You're creating a situation where there's now going to be like the potential for a revolution in this village. You've picked a side and you've given them information to allow them.
Well, there's no sides anymore. It's one village. It's one people.
What you've done is you've taken a unified village and created a side. I'm no lawyer, but I'm pretty sure that's not covered by the Prime Directive.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many stories in Star Trek about people who believe something false being shown the truth through science.
Yes.
And Star Trek tries to always present that as like always good.
Right. It's not viewed with a critical eye.
Right. So my idea of that morally is that you have to tell people the truth. Like the truth is always the good thing.
Right.
But I really can't answer. I'm trying to answer that question, and I'm discovering all these problems with it. So I don't know.
Well, but Bajor shouldn't fall under some of the Prime Directive stuff, right? Because it's aware of the Federation. If
you're going to call down our chief engineer to fix your Dalrock problem,
he's going to start telling you some science.
Yeah, like why did they called him for help?
We've gone over this.
And it's because the Syrah called them because he wanted his replacement so he could trick his protege into trying to kill somebody.
I don't think the Syrah called Deep Space 911. I think that...
I love that, by the way. Deep Space 911. We should change the name of the show.
Help! The Dalrock's coming! I think it was... basically the leader of the village, because the Syrah is this like
the guy
shaman.
Who's panicking. He's like, oh, they called for a doctor.
No, because Bashir inserted himself into the mission. They just called for generic help. And
what the fuck happened in the beginning of this episode? It doesn't make sense.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Hold on, can we pull it up on the phone? Or wait, pull up Memory Alpha.
Oh, you want me to read the? Well, okay, so here, let me just tell you what I'm thinking is happening.
Okay.
The Syrah fights the Dalrock night one.
Yes.
And then he has a heart attack or whatever, and it looks like he's dying.
Right.
They need him to fight the Dalrock for the next thing. The leader of the town, though, is basically like, let's just call Starfleet and see if they can fight this monster. Right?
I feel like when the leader of the town brings them in, he's like, you've got to come immediately. This is this is a panic situation. He leads them to the old man for medical help.
But then why wouldn't they have just asked for Bashir? Because Bashir is...
That's what I'm saying. What did they ask for in the beginning? Like, specifically, what did they ask? What did Sisko say to O'Brien? It's like right in the beginning of the episode.
All right. Well,
they call for a doctor. Okay.
But then they said...
Then why is O'Brien... O'Brien tries to get out of taking him down there. Is
O'Brien just the ferry? Is he just the
He's just
cab driver?
I think so. And O'Brien tries to argue his way out of it because he doesn't want to go with Bashir, because he doesn't want to sit with Bashir, because Bashir annoys the fuck out of him.
Okay.
So I think it makes sense that they called for a doctor. But, yeah, Amanda says, yes, Doug. And I'm pretty sure she said it with that attitude. That's how I read it anyway. So yeah, I think that they call for a doctor, and then like it doesn't make sense that O'Brien goes down. And that again, like, button those things up. Those things aren't that hard, you know? Like, have it be a mechanical issue that caused an explosion. Like, maybe some of the lightning strikes blew up a generator or something, and the village is about to lose power, and some people are hurt.
Right.
So then the two people that make sense to go down are O'Brien and Bashir.
Oh, okay. The chief has been assigned to pilot a runabout to Bajor, but he tries to get someone else to do it.
Yeah, that makes no sense. Why would the chief engineer be assigned to pilot?
Right, that's the part. I thought that they had asked for him.
Yeah.
No, I'm very sorry, everyone. They did call Deep Space 911, asked for a doctor, and then Cisco decided to send O'Brien as the pilot.
Yes.
When also Bashir can drive.
Yeah, or the fucking shuttle can drive itself.
I can't, right, just put it on. Alright, so.
Because if no one wants to listen to Bashir, make the computer do it.
I will say that this is a huge part of Deep Space Nine, where they just use the primary cast for points that they have no business doing. Yeah. They'll send away everybody on the ship to take care of stuff, and no one is left in charge.
And it seems like they do that oftentimes because they might be a little unclear about what people's jobs are on the station. Right. So they don't know how to make them interesting.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
It's not like Worf is the tactical officer, and like you see him back there, and you know he fires the phasers, and like Riker is the #1. Like, what does Dax do day to day, and what does Kira do during the day? Like, I know what Odo and Quark do, and I know what Bashir and O'Brien do.
Dax's job is science.
Yeah,
like that's it. And
I mean, you don't spend that much time in ops,
right? And
for the whole show,
job is liaison. Like, if you ever need the story to have
Snapper, what's up, dude?
With the Bajoran government or religion, then she's there for that.
Totally. And she's on her position on the bridge makes sense to me. In ops makes sense to me. And like Jadzia is like the science officer, so she's like the Spock. But it's like it's interesting because they've kind of grafted Starfleet positions onto a Cardassian workstation. Right. And it's supposed to be different, but it's kind of the same, but it doesn't get used that much. Yeah. But then when you get to Defiant, then it makes sense.
Right, because now they're like, you know what, maybe Spaceball was a bad idea.
And they spend so much time on the Defiant Bridge, like way more than they ever did on Ops.
Yeah, because now they're like, this is what we're good at.
Ops is just like the walkway to Cisco's office where a lot of the action takes place. Yeah, Dax does science. Oh, wait, we missed something Amanda said. That guy tries to murder O'Brien and they shrug it off and help him. I know.
Yeah. Well, and almost immediately O'Brien is like, whatever, bro.
Yeah, O'Brien installs an attempted murderer as the leader of this village. Just because he doesn't want to be a part of it. Like, it's just his easiest way out. That's a little problematic as well. But, I mean, it's hard for me to have bad feelings about this episode because it's just so enjoyable. Like, it's not good.
Yeah,
but it's really enjoyable.
The other parts of it are the enjoyable parts. The storyteller stuff is hokey.
Yeah, but it's just fun though. And O'Brien wears a robe. It's good. I just like seeing my favorite characters do weird shit. Like, that's why I like Buffy so much, because like the whole premise of Buffy is like, what if they couldn't speak? Right. Or, like, what if they swap bodies?
Yeah,
What if there was a curse that made everyone a teenager and starts going by Ripper again? You know, it's great. I love that shit. That's like one of my favorite things in sci-fi shows like this, is that it's like a weird what if situation. Like, what if O'Brien was suddenly the religious leader of this village?
Right.
What's he gonna do? He's gonna wear a silly robe and get someone trying to kill him. I don't know. It's fun. I like it.
That's fair. That's fair.
We need 4 more likes to get to 10. Nice. Let's do it.
Boom, 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 boom.
I say let's do it like I have any control over that. I do not. I never like my own videos because it just seems like
I'm pushing the like button.
I don't know. I don't know why I don't. It just seems weird to like my own videos.
It feels gross.
It feels gross.
It's just like,
it's like, like I'll touch myself in my own time. I don't need to do it in front of everybody.
Like your own videos with the shades down in private.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. If I needed to like my own videos, I'd make a fake account, which I have not done.
At midnight, when no one's around, Jesse likes and unlikes his videos.
I'm crying, just like. tears. Like, I want it to be 26, but I feel dirty. I'm going to go back to 25. But I want it to be 26. No, I can't do it. Blackout curtains. Let's get behind the green screen. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
So,
we have to talk about the best moment of this episode, which is the practical joke where Nog makes people think that he's knocked Odo out of his bucket. Like, this fucking disrespectful kid picks up this man's bed and fills it with oatmeal and like, spills it on Jake's chest. But it's such a good prank.
yeah, Nog is such a dick.
It's such a good prank.
Yeah.
Like, I understand it's a horrible thing to do, but he's like an immature kid,
Yeah.
and it's a brilliant prank, and I'm so glad that he did it.
Nog's characterization of this is pitch perfect. It's
Yeah,
so well done.
so good. And
No-
Aaron Eisenberg is so good.
He does it well.
He's an amazing actor.
When Nog is awkwardly trying to flirt with the girl,
yeah.
and just not being good at it, but then the one moment which we talked about earlier, when she discusses that she has a problem, and then he lights up like,
Yeah.
But I don't even think he's thinking of it. He just goes into like, oh, I can do this. You know,
Yeah.
He can actually be valuable to her.
He's seeing something more clearly than she is.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah,
In
or
that
than
moment,
Jake.
based off of his cultural
Right.
point of view,
Right.
he can see that this dispute is solvable.
Oh, I want to look it up because we get another rule of acquisition in this episode.
So if someone wants to keep track, please do. I realize that I have not made a spreadsheet for that. I've got too much going on already. I'm not doing it.
I did.
Someone should, though.
I did. I have it. I just keep forgetting to bring it with me here.
Oh, you did? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do it.
So now I'm looking it up.
Yeah, there was a rule of acquisition in this episode.
Opportunity plus instinct equals profit.
Yeah.
That's the 9th rule of acquisition.
Yeah.
So this is
Not bad.
Because that was what he was kept saying.
Not bad.
And it's solid advice from Nog. Reframe
Yeah.
this as an opportunity. What
Yeah.
you know.
I think that is good advice. Like, if you're in a bad situation, reframe it as an opportunity. Like, find a way to do something positive with it.
Right, if you can. It won't always work, but
like, my example for me personally is like, I have not been able to work for a couple of years because of like health problems,
And now
like
we have this show.
Lyme disease and stuff. And now we have this show. Exactly. Like, I started game streaming because I wanted to do something that would feel valuable.
Yeah.
To not just to me, but hopefully to people who are looking for something fun to do. You know, because I was going to play Mario anyway. I couldn't work. This seems like something worth trying.
Amanda's glad
So
we're here.
yeah, so I tried to make an opportunity out of my health issues, and it's been like this amazing thing that I love so much. And then like this show, you know, my podcast was suffering because I wasn't having the energy to get it out there. I'm like, what can I do that would be live, that'd be easier? And that's where this show came from. And this has been so much fun. Like, I'm just loving doing this so much.
High five, everyone.
High fives. Yeah, I heard my name. She says. Doug said a thing about you.
That she appreciates us.
Doug is assuming that you appreciate us being here.
She's here, so. Boy, if she didn't, she's
Yeah, and like
masochist.
Like, I've had a couple things happen to me personally where, like, my health has prevented me from doing things that I really, really wanted to do. And it is just so fucking upsetting. But it has also opened up pathways that would not have been opened otherwise. Like, and I try to hold on to that and ignore the other stuff as much as possible. And just, like, you know, try to be grateful for the good things that I have and not be upset about the things that I've missed or lost.
Opportunity plus instinct equals profit.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that is a very Ferengi way to be for me. You know? You had a terrible day at work. Oh, that sucks. This helps. It's so weird to love hearing that because I'm sad you had a bad day at work, but I'm so happy to be able to make someone's day a little bit better. Yeah. If what I'm doing is making someone's day better, then I feel like it's worth doing.
Yeah.
No matter what it is.
I sold a shower at someone recently, and then they wrote back, and they said that their daughter was having a hard time at school or something like that, and it's just like this little shower that says, you'll be okay, and it's got a little narwhal in it.
Oh, yeah.
And then she loved it, and then she started taking it to school with her.
That's awesome.
Because it made her feel better.
Yeah, but my friend Sarah has one on her mirror that says, "We are all star stuff and farts." Yeah, Doug. Well, your wife started this company, and then you do a lot of the design for. It's called Ugly Baby. They've got this awesome store in Pike Place Market in Seattle. It's actually like very well known here, and I had actually been there many times before I knew that Doug was even involved. Uglybabyshop.com. Nice.
Boom! Look at me promoing.
Yeah.
Although everyone knows that I typed that, not you.
Well, actually, let's see. Command adcom
Oh, look at this.
Ugly Baby.
Jesse hacks the system.
Check out Doug's cool
Analog memes.
Doug's analog memes. And then I gotta do like the full link. I'm so lazy. I do this sometimes. Let's see.
This is
Ugly. I was gonna type in Deep Space Doug. That's not even anything.
chat. Pause for a
Ugly
second.
Baby Store Shop. .com. I'm making this link. Work in progress. Full range of progress on stuff on Epstein. But it is absolutely you actually your website.
Right. These things are things.
I heard PNW. I want to poop on the moon. Oh my god, I love that. How I roll. These are so good.
Thank you.
So, was your wife making?
We both made them originally out of we were making them out of resin at home in our kitchen.
Have you always written most of them or all?
No, it's about half.
Oh, it's about half. Okay.
Yeah, so half of hers, half of mine.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
This year, the bulk of them have been mine because she's been busy with other stuff. But for the past 4 years, the bulk of them had been hers. So
cool. Well, now we got a command. So command Ugly Baby will pull up that link. And yeah, it's really great. It's really cool, GIFs and all sorts of fun shit.
Promo.
Yeah.
We need advertising music. Boom, 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 boom,
I can sing something while you talk.
Oh, this reminds me that Doug has a shop.
Doug
For all of your analog memes,
Space 9.
visit uglybabyshop.
Doug Space 9.
Com.
Doug Space 9. See, that's double promotion. Now I'm promoting this show.
Promoting this, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. If you are watching this not live, I know some people do. Thank you guys so much.
Oh.
If you want to participate in the conversation, you can always tell me what you think. Tell us what you think of the episodes in the comments, and we will read those in the next episode.
Oh,
so
it's like we have viewer mail.
Yeah, it would be like viewer mail. I was thinking about that. If anyone leaves comments, because I've noticed that there are some people who definitely watch this after the fact, or just listen to it as a podcast or whatever. If I'm talking to you right now, leave a comment and we'll check it out. I'd love to hear what other people have to think.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, coming live is awesome because we can chat in person and it's so awesome. But
and I can creep you out by saying that you have
feeling your paw.
Ooh, what happened to your paw?
You have a dark paw.
Watch your paw, bro.
I'm distracted now. Oh my god.
You had said that the highlight of the episode for you was the oatmeal
prank.
My highlight of the episode is when I should look up her name, but what's her name? The Petrarch?
Yes,
the
Tetrarch.
The Tetrarch.
Oh, Latoya, hey. Yes, Latoya, you were the one who told me about the previous background. So the very first episode, we had that star field going really fast, and I heard from someone that it was that they had epilepsy and it was actually uncomfortable.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
So they couldn't watch it; they just had to listen. So that was actually one of the main reasons
That's a good reason.
changed it. And then I found this one, which I actually vastly prefer, because it's like we are in a runabout, looking talking to Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, your husband has epilepsy. It was such a good point. I had to change it.
Sorry, I'm glad she came back.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Good to see you.
And that's a good note.
Totally, I love good notes.
Okay, so it's the
Tetrarch.
It's the Tetrarch, and it's Jake and it's Nog, and they're having this beautifully written and beautifully edited and beautifully acted multi-directional conversation.
Yeah.
And and I don't know if I can do it justice, but the peak of it is she's asking them what they're doing, how they solve problems, and then she's like, "What do you do when you have a problem?" Jake, I talk to my dad. Nog, me too. Tetrarch, does it help? Jake, yes. Nog, not really. and it's
so
beautiful
good.
because each of them are having the conversation with the other, and they overlap, but they're not Nog isn't acknowledging Jake isn't acknowledging Nog
because they're just so focused on this girl.
Right. And it's so
really
well done.
it's really well done.
And just the way that Nog is just like, no.
Yeah.
Just talking to my dad does not help.
You're just picturing Rom and you're like, yeah.
Well, because we're still
makes
at
sense.
whatever Rom drug using head injury.
Pre and post Beetle snuff Rom. Yeah.
Where he's probably a terrible, because he yells at Nog all the time, especially in front of other Ferengi. It's Nog knows that he's not a good Ferengi, and he's taking it out on his son, who's also not a good Ferengi by their cultural standards.
Right. I think that Rom fell Remember, like,
Yeah,
when...
that was our theory, because...
I think he fell from the top of the bar, and then, to deal with the pain, he started taking beetle snuff, so he has a brain injury and is on beetle snuff. Because he's very different.
I started to do a Vegas laugh for no reason.
Brother.
Mom!
I don't think that's a good idea, brother.
Oh, boo-boo! Oh no, we'll find out we were stealing picnic baskets.
He's Yogi Bear. He's totally Yogi Bear. Oh my god. Well, is there anything else in this episode? What did we forget? I'm uncomfortable with the idea of an orb of a shard of the orb of the prophets being used in this way. I don't feel like they had the technology to do this. I think it's just total hand waving. It's like, yes, we did this thing that's like magic Bajor.
You might as well have a bracelet that had like a Mario mushroom on it.
Yeah.
Where does this happen from? Oh, I got a space magic mushroom.
So, okay, let's just actually talk about our magic mushroom rating right now, because like that whole story is so out there, but then the whole other story feels like it was written by someone completely different. May well have been, and is like
it feels like
it's like a zero. It's like a zero on the mushroom
right,
scale.
because the other side feels like a Babylon 5 UN, negotiation of territory. It's like just a straight up like this could have existed in the '60s story. Yeah. Yeah, and then the other side.
So what do you do when you have like
because it was a space
a zero and like a what, like an 8?
There is no anti-mushroom. It just like if Q pops into an episode and goes, "Hey y'all, just wanted to say hi," and leaves, and the rest of the episode is a straight up trial.
Yeah.
It's still infinite mushrooms because Q's existence changed this. So this episode brings us into like, oh, it's the weird time hole alien or timey-wimey space magic mushroom thing. So it just, you're already at like an 8+.
Well, as the creator of the mushroom scale, I have to take your word for that. Because I don't know if they should balance or not, but I feel like you're probably right.
Like you rate by quality. You're like, oh, the A story is good, the B story is bad. Mushrooms, it's
Jason, what's up, man?
One drop of space magic, and then you're at infinite.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm with you. Like if you're killed, you can't. If you are like alive, and then you're also killed, you're not still alive. You're then killed.
There's not like a little.
You can't be killed and alive, and then balance that out to like half dead. That's not real.
Princess Bride, mostly dead rules.
Right? Yeah, you're either alive or dead. So you're either complete nonsense or you make sense.
Right.
But once part of you doesn't make sense, all of you doesn't make sense. Because even if the rest of you does make sense, it's a lie.
Yep. That's the scale.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. All right. Well, should we get into rating this one? And then we're gonna play the game. I'm so excited. We got it all set up and ready.
So we're saying on the mushroom scale, this is easily an 8, 9, or above.
Well, yeah. For me, it's like. For me, it's like a 7.
7? Okay, that's fair.
It's pretty high,
it's just a fragment of the orb.
Yeah.
And it is a thread. You start pulling at it and you do hit 10, but yeah,
I feel like there is a way. I feel like there is a way to make it make sense. It just doesn't quite make sense.
Yeah, I think that's legit.
Holy shit, Jason! Oh my god!
Whoa!
Merry Christmas a few days early. Keep up the great streams.
Thank you, Jason.
Oh, dude, thank you so much for the super chat. It's coming. Nyan Cat Deep Space. We're dancing. There's no music yet, but it always takes a second. Come on. There it is. That's like my favorite GIF on the internet.
I'm ruining it if I do this. The fucking 90s sax jam right there.
A few days early. Keep up the great streams.
Yeah, I don't know why the text-to-speech didn't work last time.
Who said that?
That was my text-to-speech bot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Her name is Majel. I named her Majel.
Why does she sound like a Swedish porn star?
It's because you're racist. Okay, let's rate this episode.
I'm just saying robots ain't people. Where's that?
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10. Mm-hmm.
Create poll.
Yeah.
What is the rating of this episode? I've had a bot for a while. It only triggers for like a certain amount of donation, and I don't know why it didn't trigger earlier because it was the same donation.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's unlucky.
Straw poll. There you go. Rating for this episode. This is a hard one actually because it's not a good episode, but I love it so much.
And Jason gets a vote twice.
And well,
look at me. I'm right away. What a Ferengi. I'm like, we're selling votes now.
This isn't like Deep Space Nine logic. There are rules, okay?
Nope.
This isn't battle lines. There are rules.
You can buy my vote.
Okay, what's the rating? What do you think?
Me, 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah.
That's pretty high.
Well, because the B story is beautiful.
Yeah, the B story's great.
Yeah, it's
But okay, if it,
so good.
how do you rate that though? Because like
7.5.
because like if a B story in general, like wouldn't you say that an A story would maybe get like 6 points and the B story would get 4 if they were both perfect?
So if this had been switched, if it was an equivalent where the A story was as good as I think the B story is here, you know what I mean? And then then the B story was the weak, like
right.
okay,
Then what would the rating be?
Probably like 8.5.
Okay.
So the fact that it's not the primary thing, you know.
Yeah.
And maybe I could erase it all together for a real strong A story. Here, it's like, it's called the Storyteller. This is clearly the driving thing. This is the primary focus. And it's just like,
Yeah.
But the other stuff was so good.
Yeah, for me, both stories are really good. Well, both stories are really enjoyable. One of those stories is good. You know what I mean? You okay?
No, I was just trying to, like...
Oh, they don't see that. That's just
This is my impression of what we can see right now.
I paused our screen because, like, I don't need to be streaming out and in at the same time.
No, that's fair. Yeah,
And
that's legit.
I thought Doug was having a stroke.
So did I,
I
based
was
on the
really
camera.
worried. See, we look like this.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I just have it off that screen because we're doing this.
We're voting.
thing.
Yeah,
We're
okay,
voting.
so where are you voting at?
Oh, this is tough for me because I know where this show goes. I know how good it gets. And I know that there are serious problems with the storytelling of the storyteller.
Right.
And
pretty ballsy to do a crappy story that is
Yeah.
about storytelling.
like my enjoyment of this, yeah, that is so it's so ballsy. My enjoyment of this is like an 8, but I feel like the quality of it is like a 6. So
Okay.
so what do I? So I'm gonna give it a 6.
Well, I mean, if you weigh them the same, you're at 7. You said it's an 8 versus a 6, so it split the
give it
difference
a-
to 7.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's
But
like,
so for you, it's not weighted. It's the execution is a 6, then you give it a 6.
I feel like the quality of the episode as a whole outweighs my enjoyment of it for the rating.
Yeah, it drags it down.
Yeah.
The execution is just too much for you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give it like a 6.5.
Okay.
Because I feel like it deserves a 6, but I enjoy it so much. I'm
Yeah.
gonna give that 0.5 back.
Whenever
to
we
it.
do fractional ratings, to me, that's
Yeah.
always a sign.
Bye, Latoya. So good to see you.
Oh, somebody left. I constantly feel like I don't give enough attention to chat. Yet whenever I talk about chat, I feel like you're paying too much attention to chat.
Me?
I don't. No, me.
Oh.
I do not know how to react on a stream to.
Oh,
To
I
the-
think you're doing great.
All right.
I mean, I got like hundreds of hours of reading chat while playing video games, so I'm very tuned into chat.
They'll yell if they want, like, if they need head pats, like, oh, thank you.
I mean, for me, the joy of doing
Thank
this
you, Chad.
live is
Thank
that,
you.
like, everyone else is here with us to have this discussion, and, like, I'm really interested and curious about what they're saying, so
Okay.
I'm very tuned into chat.
Okay.
And I will...
You can never pay too much attention to me, Doug. All right.
Yeah, sometimes I do miss things because I get distracted or we're talking about something or I'm looking that way or whatever, but, like, I try to at least read through everything.
So we're good.
And if I see something that I know you're going to want to see, I'll try to point it out to you.
Okay, cool.
But I say, like, I don't know. The thing that's too much is when reading chat distracts you or me from finishing a sentence. In my opinion, I feel like if I'm trying to make a point and what someone says in chat is off topic, I should finish my point before I go to chat. That's what I try to do anyway.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave your paw alone? Yeah, leave her paw alone. Get your paws off her paw. Okay, let's see what chat said.
Keep your paws off me, you damn dirty prophets.
Viewing results. Oh shit, we have a three-way tie between 6, 7, and 8. So, what is that, a 7 then?
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 7, because it's 21 divided by 3.
Yep.
Okay, so
You
chat
were
says
the
a
one that
7.
said you were bad at math.
I don't know how I just did that. Who is our favorite character in this episode? This is tricky.
Right. There's the Tetrarch.
Yeah.
Tetrarch.
There's got to be Nog, there's got to be Jake,
Jake,
and
yeah.
I think for the first time Bashir might earn it, and I think that O'Brien's got to be in there.
Oh, sure.
Odo is awesome in this episode. Like, his patience with the kids is really impressive.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're going to put Odo, then you're going to put in the Storyteller.
The old one or the young one?
Storyteller. Just trust me, Storyteller.
Okay.
Storyteller Jr.
You're correct.
Even though it's Sarah, but it just, I don't know.
I named one of my rabbits Sarah.
The name of the episode is Storyteller, so I'm going to go with that.
Yeah, totally.
So this is favorite character?
You throw money to get head pats. Aw.
Oh.
That was very appreciated, dude. Thank you. You'd get head pats without throwing money, but it is very appreciated.
Ooh.
That was not a fart, that was the chair.
Yeah, but now I know how to do it.
Yeah. Can you guys hear our fart noises?
This is the
Chair
worst.
farting? This is bad streaming. Okay, there's your poll for favorite character. Who's your favorite? I gotta get new chairs. Who's your favorite character? What do you say?
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I don't know. Do you have one off the top of your head?
Yeah,
I'm
I
torn.
do.
Okay, go ahead and do yours so I can think.
It's really close for me.
Yeah.
Bashir and O'Brien are both in the running for me because, like, the Bashir that I like is present in this episode.
Sure, yeah.
The guy who's, like, really good at being a doctor but not so good at making friends.
Mm-hmm.
Finally making a friend is very sweet. And I think improves his character tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't hit on anybody in the whole episode. He didn't, like, lecherously stare at anybody.
Kept it in his pants.
Yeah, and that's so nice.
Yeah.
O'Brien, I just love his, like, reluctant participation.
Right.
Which is basically sums him up perfectly as a character, is just reluctant participant. Miles Edward O'Brien, reluctant participant in the events of the Dominion War.
He does make a great straight everyman.
Yeah,
You're
totally.
Just like,
But for me, it has to be Nog.
Okay.
Because I fucking love Nog.
Mm-hmm.
He's just such a great character. He's so multi-layered, and he brings depth to the Ferengi, which seems impossible.
Right.
And it's so much of that is, like, in the performance, and so much of that is in the writing, because it's so clever and it's so well balanced.
It comes together well.
Yeah, so it's got to be Nog for me in this episode. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Nog.
Nice.
Yep.
I feel like I sold you.
I was torn between doing a serious answer or a joke answer, because I did really enjoy the Storyteller. But Nog had such a good performance. Nog had a good performance.
Yeah. He's what really makes this episode feel special.
Yeah, so I didn't want to just throw my vote away on because I thought the Storyteller was fun.
Chat agrees with us.
Nog
If it was both, it would have been No-Do. Or Onog.
Onog.
No-Do is better. Okay. And then let's go best performance.
Best performance. Well, then, of course,
We gotta put Nog in
Nog,
there.
yeah.
Tetrarch.
Jake. Sheer.
Bashir. O'Brien. I feel like both storytellers I wouldn't include.
Yeah, no one voted for them as characters.
Yeah.
Maybe the second one had screen time, so, I mean...
Yeah. But his performance was a little stiff, you know? He was fine.
So what you're doing here is you're rigging the poll by choosing who they can choose.
Yeah, exactly. Does anyone want to vote for... I mean, if someone wants to vote for...
Let's keep them off, and then if they
Storyteller
want to
Jr.
vote... That's... people are allowed to do voice votes.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because like, we can add in a voice vote.
We should always do other as...
Other. Fuck that. Are you trying to destroy the validity of our spreadsheet, Douglas?
No, then they have to tell us. They have to voice vote.
Okay, who do you say? Best performance?
It's Jesse... whatever. Nog.
Aaron Eisenberg.
Aaron Eisenberg. I was thinking Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like choosing the same for best performance and favorite character, but sometimes they are the same.
Yeah,
and
I do it a lot.
In this case, they are the same. I don't like choosing them because I like to pretend that they're two different categories.
Oh, I see.
They are two different categories because there are times where Kai Wynn will give the best performance, and she will never be your favorite character. Right. Or there are times where Gul Dukat will like knock it out of the park, and he's a fucking slime ball.
Yeah.
So they are different categories.
Yeah.
But sometimes they don't feel like it.
No, this was just too well done.
Yeah, Aaron Eisenberg is just fucking great. He's so goddamn good in this part. It's like I met him at a Star Trek convention, and you remember the episode Only a Paper Moon where he's in the holodeck?
Yeah.
that episode is like truly deeply important to me and like special to me as like a person who has gone through health problems and escaped through media, and like getting to tell him in person that his performance in that affected me was so special to me.
Yeah.
To like say thank you for that episode, that performance. But it's really his character as a whole is very special to me because he's just so like so well done as just this young dude who's like growing up in conflicting worlds and trying to be his own person. And trying to just be himself. And who he is does not line up with the culture that he is from. But it lines up with this other culture that is appealing to him that he wants to be a part of. And I totally felt like that as a kid, you know?
And it's portrayed well.
And yeah, it's so good. So good. Okay, so we both say... Aaron Eisenberg is sweeping it today. Let's see what chat says on the poll. Best performance, we have a tie between Bashir and O'Brien. Well, we definitely need a name for them combined anyway, because it's going to come up.
Bash Brian?
Let's see. Julian... Bashir, Miles, Edward, O'Brien. We gotta. Well, how do we combine their last names? Mulian.
No, that was
Mulian Bo'Brien.
Mulian O'Brien.
Mulian O'Shear.
Mulian O'Shear is good.
Mulian O'Shear. Mashir. Because he's relatable and finally seems like an actor, yeah. Mulian O'Shear.
Yeah.
I feel like that's pretty good.
That's good, yeah.
What's Julian's middle name? Julian Bashir. Does he have one?
What's O'Brien's middle name?
Edward.
Oh.
Jules.
But that's
his name is... That's his real name. I don't think he has a middle name. I don't have a middle name.
Yeah, my sister doesn't have a middle name. I'm not surprised that I always thought Jules was his nickname, but this is saying was his real name, and he changed his name to Julian.
I think Jules is his real name.
That's what it says here.
Yeah.
Oh boy, all right. We don't...
Now we're just reading Memory Alpha.
I was going to say...
We're literally just reading something. Okay. It's just us reading Memory Alpha.
Oh, okay. Here, chat, if you want to read something...
What's your middle name? $5 if you can guess. Is the M the first initial of your middle name?
Who said that?
Amanda.
Me?
Amanda? What?
Who's asking about who's middle
Amanda
name?
asked if we can guess her middle name.
Oh,
okay.
I see.
We'll get $5 if we can guess, but it's not... Doesn't start with M. So we have no idea.
Right.
This is a losing game.
Do we get one guess per episode?
Okay, I'm guessing. I want to do like a being John Malkovich, like Carousel, Anne. Going in.
All right.
I found it through that method. I guess that works. I always thought that was just for show. That's not going to be correct, though. What do you say?
Nah, I still need to mull about it. No. Have to give us
that was the quietest moment of Doug Space Nine ever. It's so true. For a show that does a yell check, it's definitely true. I never yell checked before. We did it tonight.
Ensign yell check.
Or today for the first time.
Ensign yell check.
Ensign too loud yell check. Anne is your sister's middle name? I got fucking close.
Oh, spooky.
I got close. I got close in a thing that I didn't know close was possible in. Wow. Do you got one?
No, I was gonna sit. I'm gonna sit on it. I might not have one guess for another 2-3 streams.
And we've already space mushroomed this fucker, so we're there. We've done it. Oh.
There's yeah, keep going. There was something I was just thinking, and now I've lost it.
Oh, I was gonna say we can.
You want to do video games?
We can do this shit.
Yeah.
Are we ready, you guys? Wait, why did it move over? Why is it over on the left? That's weird. Oh no, wait, never mind. It's in the right place. I'm dumb. Our camera's like right in our face.
That's good for me.
It's good for you. Okay, you go. Okay, so we're starting a new game. Wait. What? It didn't do the opening scene. I guess we saw it last time.
I'm not doing anything. This is just doing it.
Oh, okay, never mind. This is just the pre-game show. If you push start, I think it'll.
Oh, I thought that this was an opening sequence. I thought it was going to teach me to play the game.
I thought you were playing.
I see.
Doug Space Nine.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, Deep Space Nine. Station log. Stardate. 4687.1.6. Commander Benjamin Sisko reporting. Political turmoil. I can't read
On
on
nearby Bajor, slowed our usual flow of visitors. If not for a Cardassian warship, the station would be very quiet.
Oh, a Cardassian warship is here. Uh-oh.
Bing, 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 bong.
Okay, Amanda.
Commander Sisko, this is Odo. Please meet me in security.
On my way, Odo. He would say on my way, Chief.
Yeah.
This game's already bullshit. Okay, I don't remember anything. It was like a month ago or more than that we played this.
There's my jump. Oh.
So we're supposed to go to security, I guess. That's last time we weren't sure like what our purpose was. Oh, I should check the mix. How do we sound? This music is great. I might turn it down a bit. How's that? I think that's good. You can hear it, but you can hear us. Everything in order, Major?
Yes, Commander, nothing much happening. Even the Cardassian ship at lower Pylon 3 is behaving.
What's she doing on that pad? Looks like she's like flinging dollar bills.
Something wrong, O'Brien?
O'Brien is ripped.
The security grid is malfunctioning. Bloody Cardassian equipment. Always breaking down. Okay. Weird place to cop a squat. Look at him. O'Brien is just like grooving out with his...
Yeah. Oh, I should put the game on the stream. I can do that.
Oh, they're not watching us play the game?
Oh no, I mean the title that I can set it as a gaming stream and put the title of the game on it.
So they know why I'm doing this then, right?
They do know why you're doing that, yes.
Will someone tell me why I'm doing this?
I feel like you're just getting into it appropriately. So if for some reason somebody searches on Google for this game right now, we'll show up. We'll show up playing it.
What are you working on, Dax?
Just running some routine scans on the wormhole. That was my best Dax. It wasn't very good.
Okay.
Turbo lifts.
Okay, so.
I love the music in this game. It's so funny, like, they could have just used Deep Space Nine music and they chose to just write whatever this is.
Maybe they didn't have it. Maybe they couldn't.
Well, they already had it in here. Do-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh.
Wait, what did he say? You've made this station a boring shore leave stop, Commander Human.
You've made this...
What a dick.
You've made this station a boring shore leave stop, Human.
Yeah, it's like a telegram.
Stop.
Hey, it's Jake.
Hey! Hey, Jake, what are you doing?
Hi, Dad. I'm waiting for Nog to show up.
Hey, Jake.
He's terrifying. He's really broke his neck looking to the right so
I
hard.
can sneak up on him.
Nope. Quarks. Turbo lift. Oh, Garrick sighting. You're really excited about Garrick. I don't need any clothes today. Well, when you need a new suit, remember plain, simple Garrick. Oh, Outer Ring. Wait, Outer Ring. That's where we want to go because Odo's office is. Oh,
I forgot where we were going.
Wait. Hold on.
Temporarily denied.
No, we're on the promenade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Quarks is through there. Odo's security station is on.
It's near Quarks.
Is on the promenade near Quarks. So you're in Quarks now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I feel like Odo's security station should be on this deck somewhere, right?
I think so.
Dabo.
Okay, I'll play some Dabo. I like it how I go up to go, I want to play Dabo.
What
play Dabo? Yeah.
Like, blop?
I want to play Dabo. No thanks, I'm on duty.
Can you talk to Quark?
Yeah.
Look at him run. How's the business, Squawk?
Not bad, although Cardassians aren't my favorite customers. That's not very...
What does he say?
Oh, I thought I already talked to him.
Oh, did you?
Thought so.
Turbo lift. I feel like Odo should be on the promenade. Oh, you went...
That's ops.
You went up.
Yeah. I'm gonna try a different turbo lift.
Dabo! Okay.
Oh. So turbo lift comes to the same place.
Okay. So
Turbo lift.
Odo's security office must be... Wait. Oh, no.
Jake.
Quark's turbo lift.
Okay.
Is that a door? That green? Oh, there's more. Okay. That's the temple spot. What's that?
Let me in.
What the
Let me
fuck
in.
is that?
Let me in!
Oh. Odo's office. Okay, good. Here we go. This music is great.
This was the trouble last time, is they didn't tell us when we were walking by stuff, so we were just guessing.
Yeah.
One of our technicians was attacked. In docking pylon 3. Dr. Bashir is examining her now.
Have you arrested the attacker?
Not yet. I couldn't find any witnesses.
This is on Super Nintendo, Jermacian.
So, that's it.
That's it? Wait.
Any leads on who attacked the technician?
Not yet. Still checking.
That's a terrible Odo.
Oh, I was... Not yet. That's still a terrible Odo. I wasn't trying, but I still can't do it.
Any...
You got the Odo down.
Any leads? Not yet. Still checking. Really? Really? It looks to me like you're watching the static channel again.
Amanda thinks that you duck through try to duck when you go indoors in real life, and maybe that's why you're ducking here.
Yeah.
That's just how you go through doors.
Yeah, I'm too tall.
So, okay, now that we have that info, maybe we're just supposed to talk to people on the promenade. That's my only guess, really.
Alright. So I'll get one lead, and then I'll hand it off.
Oh, is that Lursa or Bator? That's a Klingon lady. Her boobs are just out. It's quiet, isn't it?
Look at my breasts.
Yeah.
Who would like to look at my Klingon breasts?
They're even more out than usual.
Do you know anything?
The prophets await you. Another time, perhaps. Another time.
Another time.
I think that is dialogue from the first episode.
I need...
Oh, Bashir. Doctor, Odo told me about your patient. How is she?
Fine. Someone just stunned her, but she wasn't robbed or hurt.
That was terrible.
I know. I can't...
Fine. Someone stunned her. I can't do it either.
You can just... You should be Bashir.
Okay. I want Garrick. I just want to be Garrick.
Andy said bye.
Oh, bye! Well, when you need a new suit. We already read this one.
There you
You're
go.
just making me say shit now.
No,
I have free will. I'll bet the... Maybe Jadzia knows something.
Oh, alright. That's Jadzia.
We did this part last time. I don't remember it.
We never got this far.
Well, we got a scanner. Sensors detect some anti-proton emissions in lower pylon 3. I'm going to send Chief O'Brien down. My Dax is
To
dead.
check it
To
out.
check it out. Okay, so I'm Dax, you're O'Brien.
He's busy with the security grid. I'll do it.
Oh, this is what we got. I modified a tricorder to detect the emissions.
Thanks. I'll try to find the source for you.
Where'd she say to go? Docking pylon 3? Mm-hmm. Cool. What button is the tricorder? Y, okay.
Do 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 do. On the way to docking pylon 3.
Turbo lift.
Where is the pylon?
This game is so weird.
Where is the pylon?
Oh, sweet. Progress. I think this is where we crashed last time. Hold down A to activate the lift. Okay. Oh. Well, now we have no lift. Thanks, Doug. Oh my god. There's a passed out crewman. You can jump, right?
Yeah, I forgot how you jump.
I think it's B. Major, I found a Sun crewman. In pylon 3.
Understood. I'll beam him directly to the infirmary.
Oh, sweet. Beam that shit. Oh, is he not beaming? Come on.
Anytime.
Press up to activate comm panel.
Oh, hello.
A Type 1 phaser.
Boink. Oh, yeah, that's fucking... Now we're talking. I found a stunned crewman! Oh, we'll beam him up to sickbay immediately! Okay, hang on.
Wait. I think this might be for us. I think this is a fast travel system for us.
I know, but I'm just pretending I'm making fun of, like... Because that guy is still there.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's an emergency! And then instead it's like, hang on, and it's just go like, squinting at the screen. Materialize. Captain! Beam him to sickbay immediately! Yeah. It's this Cardassian...
What's the difference? I feel like... Platform transported? Unable to transport? Choose platform? What does any of this mean? And he's still there. Okay. See you, Jason. Dude, thank you so much for hanging. Do you mind if I check out that panel?
Yeah. Here, you guys can get up there too. Oh, god damn you. What the fuck? Look at that shit.
Okay, you can't move and shoot. When you shoot, it stops you.
Right.
Okay, materialize. Unable to materialize. No reverse platform? Platform transported. Unable to transport. Okay. I think that's exactly what you did. I just didn't understand it when you were doing it.
Didn't make any sense while I watched you do it.
Oh, we do have a platform. 2 minutes to exploding? Is that what we're hearing? Wait, what? Two minutes to exploding. What? Where do I go?
What's not funny is Cisco is literally walking around going, 2 minutes to exploding? 2 minutes? Hey, guy! Stun guy!
Oh, he's gone. Wait, press up to activate comm panel.
Where did he go?
We can't keep going this way. Oh!
Oh, that's good to know. But we can
But
climb.
still fruitless. I can't get out.
1 minute.
1 minute to exploding. Wait, what do we... I can't get out, and there's 1 minute to exploding. Wait, maybe I scan over here. Dude. I remember being a kid and trying to play this game and getting like nowhere and quitting.
I can see why.
I have no idea what to do. Can I climb this?
No.
Huh. Shoot the door. Maybe. Oh, look at the map. Maybe if I go up and shoot the door on the right, I can get through. But now, wait, the thing's up there.
This is because you're jumping around like a maniac.
We exploded.
Communications with Space Station Deep Space Nine have been lost. Requesting nearest Starfleet ship
We
to
just
investigate
ran
immediately.
It was 1 minute to exploding, and we just died.
What it should have said was exploding.
What the fuck, dude? It's over.
Okay. So now.
Oh my god, we start over.
So now we know how we trade off. Now.
Every time we die?
Yeah. Well, so like you've got get us to the area.
Okay. Okay, great.
And then once it gets to 2 minutes to exploding, if you haven't solved it, hand it to me.
Okay. Great.
I like this because now you'll be able to speed run, or you'll get to dick around with some of the other stuff, you know?
Yeah, totally. So I can't talk to her yet, huh? Oh, I can.
Yeah, because you're starting over, I think.
Okay, so I have to go talk to Odo first. So let's go down to the promenade and then go left.
On my way to talk to Odo, running to Odo's office, investigating. In docking pylon 3, Dr. Bashir examining her now. Not yet, I couldn't find any witnesses. Oh, do you have your tricorder?
No, I have to go back to Dax to get it. Can't do this yet. So yeah, you have to get your tricorder first, I guess. That's not a turbo lift. That's a turbo lift.
Left my tricorder at home. Gotta get me a tricorder. Tricorder. Split screen.
So I gotta find the source.
Where are the emissions?
So the
in pylon 3.
But then how do we
investigate those emissions?
Then how do we tell her?
Comm badge. What is this, your first rodeo?
Yeah, but like how do we activate a comm badge?
Tap it.
I mean in the game.
Cisco to Dax.
Oh my god, I went in my office. This game is so strange.
This is like an early season of Deep Space Nine. It's frustrating and pointless.
What are you talking about, Discovery? Okay.
Pylon 3.
I don't think we do anything with that yet. So, how do I pick up the...
Crouch it.
Nice.
Butt grab! Oh, it's like picking up Bing cherries. I mean, dropping Bing cherries.
This is where I heard...
1, 3...
Right. this work?
Where are the emissions in Pylon 3? Where are the emissions in Pylon 3? Scan the pylon.
How did we get those things before?
Where are the emissions? Jump and jump and jump, and some things are walls that don't look like they'd be walls.
Oh, baby! Progress!
Dax, I found a Bajoran planting a...
Bellitrium grenade! VGA player, what's up?
Quickly, Benjamin, put it into the nearest... ejection tube!
Ejection tube! Jesus Christ, what are the controls?
Help, I'm getting punched repeatedly! He's turning me into a ghost! I turned him into a ghost.
I did it! That was very hard. Are we okay?
Pylon 3.
Whoa.
Ho ho! I'm just trying some stuff out, trying some sick moves.
Ah. We're detecting transporter activity in your area. It's coming from a Bajoran ship that left the station earlier.
Ray shields! I don't want them anymore beaming in.
Oh my.
Ah! Pylon 3.
What? That was death. I didn't even know that that wasn't a ground.
To my death.
Oh my god.
Do you push start to do this?
Yeah. I think we have to completely start over. Holy shit. Oh my god, this game is terrible.
This game is brutal.
Ugh.
But
This is kind of exciting. It might take us like a really long time to beat the first level. That's great. Oh my god.
Please beat me in security. I also like that I slow play it.
Oh my god, this is ridiculous. I don't believe that this is our third attempt already and you have to start from the very beginning every time. Plus, like, it's really unclear how to stay alive.
Yeah. This world is deadly. I'm meeting Odo today. I'm meeting Odo today. Odo. Odo. I love Odo. Sorry.
One of our technicians was attacked. In docking pylon 3. Dr. Bashir is examining her now.
Have you arrested the attacker?
Not yet. I couldn't find any witnesses.
Literally never stops Odo from arresting someone ever before.
Yeah. Another inconsistency. Whee!
I'm looking for witnesses. I'm looking for witnesses.
Oh
Has
my
anyone
God.
seen any Oh. Hello, son. Who do you know? Do you know? You know what a witness is. Dax, I need a witness.
Sensors detect some anti-proton emissions in pylon 3. Sounds just like her. I'm going to send Chief O'Brien down to check it out. We're gonna get these memorized by the time we make any progress.
He's busy with the security grid. I'll do it.
Amanda says you should become a streamer. I agree. We could play multiplayer Stardew Valley.
We're streaming? What do you mean become a streamer?
Yeah, he's
Next.
a streamer. What are you talking about?
I'll try to find the source for you.
We're literally streaming. The sing-song streamer.
I did that. I went into my office. Turbo lift.
Garrick looks like he's gonna punch someone when you walk by him.
Oh, they took away my jump.
B. I love those doors.
1, 3.
Yeah, you gotta get Stardew Valley. It's so good, Amanda. Best $20 I ever spent. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't played Stardew Valley online at all. I've only done it offline, and I've put in like 150 hours.
Understood. I'll beam him directly to the infirmary. No.
I wish that they'd beam him up like it's a video game. Why can't you beam him up? Why does he just have to be gone next time? Alright. My advice, having just failed here miserably, is...
Keep the phaser up.
Yes, exactly. And know which button is shoot before you walk up to people, because I had to figure that out.
Oops.
I don't know, I've been playing it for a while. But maybe.
I think we're not at that point yet.
Yeah, pretty sure. Okay, so I went to the right and then jumped up from down below. I don't think you can get there this way. And I don't think you need to scan for anything here. Like, I think we like heard the guy talking before. Is that a wall?
Yeah.
How did I get up? Oh, that's how I did it. But I somehow grabbed the ceiling.
Pylon 3.
It's a really hard game to control. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it has to be further right on this level.
Further right.
Yeah, like just past this. I think that's where you have to jump up. Why he's not grabbing it? Oh, there you go. Nice. Can you jump up there? Maybe across to the other side? What the fuck? There it is! Yeah! Little victories in this game, you know? Nice. Shoot that fucker. Shoot him first.
Quickly, Benjamin, put it into the nearest ejection tube.
That's where you put all your problems. Nicely done. I think I pushed up to pick it up. The bomb! You gotta put the bomb in the injection tube. You trying to kill us all? Oh, and that is up and A. Yeah. I think you are trying to kill us all, dude. Oh my god, there's 2 minutes to explode. Was it 2 minutes or 1 minute? Oh, this is awesome.
Oh boy, Ryan, this is real hard to get up
It's
on.
so hard to control, man. 1 minute to exploding.
Explode, Space Nine.
Yes! No! Oh, this is so tense. I'm so invested.
Exploding!
Oh my god. Alright. Speed running it. We're gonna get back there in like 1 second. Here we go.
Do people like to watch frustrating streams?
Yeah.
Okay, because this is great. I mean...
Yeah, I love it. No, I don't want to be in my office. I want to be on Wait, this is my office. No, that door says... I get it.
This isn't my beautiful office. This isn't my beautiful science officer. And you find yourself...
on Deep Space Nine. Go to Odo's office. Then
yourself.
to Pylon 3. Looking for the bombs.
Looking for the bombs.
Please. It's so dumb that you just have to go there and talk to him and then run back up.
Oh, I know.
Turbo lift.
It's like the way we pick apart an episode of the show. Like, why doesn't he have a tricorder already? Why does it have to be modified to detect emissions? That seems like function 1 on a tricorder.
Yeah, why can't they just beam me to places? Why am I running everywhere?
Well, that's my question about all of Star Trek.
Okay. Great, got my tricorder. Don't want to go in my office. Back in the turbo lift. Now we want to go to the outer pylon. I'm going the wrong way. Yep. It's like the most joyful jump I've ever seen in a video game. It's the jump of a dancer. So I'm not like calling her, that's like automatic. Yay. Yeah. 21 seconds. Dude. Oh, wait. I can't get it in. Oh, I have to switch. Oh, that's hard. Oh, God. It's like, what can you even touch here? Yikes. Pick it up, you jerk! Okay. We're detecting transporter activity in your area. It's coming from a Bajoran ship that left the station earlier. Doug, I'm right back where I was when I died.
Are you lasering Bajorans?
I am.
You school them Bajorans! Woo! Right in the dick.
That scared me.
Oh, you're really good at spotting where you can't run.
Okay, wait, I didn't have to select the grenade. That must have already been selected. Okay.
How many of these have you gotten rid of?
That's my third, so that's the most we've gotten.
Oof.
I've cleared the pylon access way of grenades.
Scans show you've got more to deal with in the next section. The power cells of the balloonium grenades leak anti-protons. Use the tricorder to find them.
On my way. Okay, tricorder activated. Oh shit! We beat a level!
Move.
We beat a level!
We gotta remember
Nuham! Num! Wow, we got a password. We never have to do that first part again. That's so exciting. I mean, it was still fun. I like this game, dude. This is cool. But what a weird game. It's like set up so strange. Okay. Pylon 3 superstructure.
Superstructure.
Right. I think that's a perfect spot to end it for the day. I have to pee really bad. That was super fun, you guys. That was awesome.
I'm sorry I missed the climactic end.
You got back just in time for that. I was waiting for you. Yeah. You had seen everything to that point.
Yeah.
And now we got a password so we can start right there. It'll be awesome. All right, you guys rock. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Is anybody live? Should we go on a raid? We could do a tiny raid.
Do they even call them raids if it's, you know, just Amanda?
I would. I feel like we'd get maybe 2 people. Let's see. I just see Amanda in chat.
Amanda.
Is VGA player still here? If we'd have at least 2 people raid, it'd be worth it, I think. Anyone else here who wants to raid?
They want to see you play Mario Maker.
I gotta let down. Alright, well, yeah, maybe we'll skip the raid. If we don't have anyone coming with us.
Hi, Miles.
Jamacion's still here but busy. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Let's just go pop into Camillo's chat. Why not? We got no pride about small raids. Camillo's a good dude. Okay. Hashtag Mercury. Well, yeah, let's just do Mercury raid if you don't mind. That's
Mercury Retro Raid.
Or like Mercury or Doug Space 9 raid. I don't know. Let's just do Mercury
Raid. I ain't got nothing to do with the raid. I
and
advocate against raiding. I feel that it is just creating more violence in the street.
You are a sick man. Alright guys, I'll see you over in Camillo's chat. Hashtag Mercury Raid. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Tiny Mercury Raid, I see Amanda over there. Yeah, now it's Tiny Mercury Raid. That's even better.
Tiny Mercury Raid talk show.
Yeah. Alright, thank you all so much for hanging. If you're watching this later, thank you as well. You guys are amazing. Really appreciate it.
Live in the past.
We'll see you in 2 weeks, right?
Yes. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, probably 2 weeks.
Probably 2 weeks.
And then the next episodes are Progress and If Wishes Were Horses. Alright, you guys, we'll see you there. Love you, bye.